It's a battle, win or lose. It's the friends you make, it's the road you choose. You got the right stuff, so make your mind up. Find the courage inside of you. If you're strong, you'll survive and you'll keep your dream alive. It's the battle frontier. Pokemon, be the best you can be and find your destiny. It's the master plan. The power's in your hand. Pokemon. You've got the strength to win it, so stay in it. If you're smart, you can take it all. If you're strong, you'll survive and you'll keep your dream alive. It's the battle frontier. Pokemon, be the best you can be and find your destiny. It's the master plan. It's the master plan. The power's in your hand. Pokemon.
Hello and welcome back to another week of Game Freak telling me to stop making this series, but I told them no.
I mean, I'm gonna have to see that email personally, homie, but
Yeah, I
if you
gotta
say it is, I'll go with it.
But they have no jurisdiction here, so we are gonna keep on making it.
Easy day.
Okay, so as last week, as we have stated, we are talking this week about starters. But this isn't just any conversation. It's not some aimless conversation about starters. We are instead going to play eugenics. And I can't believe I actually just fucking said that on my channel. But yes, we are going to play eugenics, and we are going to go through the cons and pro of every single starter Pokemon until we find the best of each type.
I won't lie, there's a few I'm excited to slander the hell out of.
Oh, move over. But as usual, you have my professional Pokemon player from Utah.
What's up, my guys?
And you have me, your YouTuber, Sir Chandarius. And, oh shit, I forgot to say your name in Curcio.
Nah, you're good, bro.
Sorry. Okay, anyways, yes, we have a professional player, Curtin Curcio, a gym leader, and you have me. Okay, duh. Let's move on to the list.
Yep.
Okay, let's start with the grass types, fire types, and then go on to the water types, alright?
Easy enough.
So, we're going to start at Kanto, then just go down the list, and then we're just going to remove and add as we see fit.
Easy day.
Alright, so, let's just talk about the Kanto list just so that they get a good talking about too, alright?
Okay.
Alright, so, Ivysaur, or I should say Bulbasaur.
Yep.
So, his line, as much as everyone likes to hate on Bulbasaur, I like him, you know what I mean? He's very, very useful. He's a good, cool Pokemon. I wouldn't say he's perfect, absolute, but, you know, he's a lot better than some of the others on this list. Like, I feel like Bulbasaur is going to have a good time for a while, and then he's going to get knocked off super hard.
Yeah. For me, like, the Bulbasaur line has grown onto me over the past couple of years, mostly because I've had the opportunity to use it in competitive play, and it's actually very infuriating to deal with, which makes it hilarious, especially when you bring in Mega Venusaur into the picture. But I will not lie, I am still not. I love Bulbasaur and Ivysaur's design. Venusaur, I'm not gonna lie, it looks like an STD that grew legs in the mouth. I'll be completely real with you. But that's my general take on the Bulbasaur line. Good in terms of actual practicality, in terms of how it looks. Yikes.
Okay. Charmander. I have just one word. I've never retroactively hated a Pokemon more than the Charmander line.
That's a valid point.
I don't dislike the Charmander line. It's just that there's too many fucking Charizards to the point where it's just like, you know, like, when's the last time you actually raised a Charmander into a Charizard? Really think about that for a minute. When's the last time you actually caught a Charmander and raised it to a Charizard? No, because you always just catch a Charizard. Not to say that his design or his moves are bad, we're just trying to rank the best overall hands-down starter. But now that I've gotten that bit of slander out of the way, I do want to say Charizard is very much a glass cannon. He's cool, he's useful, he has a good move typing, but he's very much glass cannon. I don't trust Charizard like half the time when there are other fire types I would trust way more in a pinch.
And that's fair. Like, When the introduction of Stealth Rocks came out to be, Charizard's competitive play was definitely hampered and cucked out of non-existence with that up until the recent generation of Sword and Shield. But I will say I was a huge Charizard fanboy ever since I was a kid. Like Leaf Green Fire Red's where I genuinely started, and then I backtracked a bit. But I have to admit that Charizard gets way too much pampering, way too much attention. I mean, for crying out loud, he has two Mega Evolutions.
Not only that,
And
he also gets all the original starters got Gigantamax forms, which means, you know what I mean? I mean, Charizard
oh,
was in the base game before any of
yes.
the other first gen starters, which really fucking tells you something. It's
Hell,
like,
he was Leon's ace.
I know that's kind of like why I was like, okay, I get everyone loves Charizard. It's just like, you know, but it's like Game Freak just has like is just like, oh, they have the nostalgia goggles on. It'll be fine. No, Game Freak, it's not. Like it'd be
Yeah,
different
like
if all the other starters got the same amount of play, but they don't.
yeah, no, I will say some of them do not deserve that same level of play regardless. But I will say that while I
Like
still
really think about that. Not even Pikachu gets as much play as Charizard in the games.
I would argue in the games you're correct. Outside the games, completely
Outside of the
different
games,
story.
outside of the games, Pikachu's the fucking mascot. You can't touch Pikachu, but in the games, like I swear to God, like it's so weird because Pikachu's are like fucking. It's so weird because they're in a lot of the gens, but at the same time, there's no fanfare.
Well, they Pikachu did get a Gigantamax form. It also does have more like how would I best describe this? Not regional versions because there is an Alolan version of Pikachu or
Bruh,
not Pikachu.
there's legitimately an electrified rodent in nearly every single fucking region.
Oh yeah, no, the Pikachu clones, but even then, Pikachu's still found in most generations, if not all of them.
Which I wouldn't mind if they stuck to it, but they didn't. Like I had this thought the other day, like what if they just went back and remade the first season of Pokemon, but they just placed it in another region and Ash finds that region's like Pikachu clone and just, you know, runs with
Oh
it.
God.
And I'm like, that would be the wildest thing ever.
It'd be interesting,
Can you
although
imagine Ash running around with a Parichu? Was that
on
their
it,
name?
it'd
Was that
be
their name?
entertaining. Pachirisu from Sinnoh, yes.
Pachirisu. Yeah. God, how
Yeah,
weird would
like
that be?
I just wish they made the Pikachu clones actually worth a damn. At least gave them an
I
evolution
mean,
line.
I mean, props to Hoenn. At least their Pikachu clone wasn't actually just a rodent. It was a dog, Electrike.
Yeah, no, you see, well, no, actually, the Pikachu clone in Hoenn was Plusle and Minun.
Oh my God, you're fucking right. I forgot they existed. Oh fuck, they were
Yeah,
the
how's
worst.
that?
They were the worst ones. Oh my God.
Like at least like the others
Fuck,
had
you're right.
something about them. And I mean I will say I think Morpeko actually is not that bad of a Pikachu clone. It's actually funny to use.
Morpeko's cute. I like it. What was the Pikachu clone in Johto?
And Johto, hold up,
Or did they just have another Pikachu?
they
No, the
didn't.
the Pikachu clone in Johto was just Pichu. That's right.
Oh yeah, they just gave it Pichu. Yes, let's make a worse version of this Pokemon, and that's Johto in a nutshell.
God, oh God, I just realized, like, no. I kind of want to get back to the main talking point, but we'll get to that in a minute. This is way more fun.
Like, honest to God, like that was Johto in a nutshell. We're gonna make worst versions of every Pokemon from Kanto. That is literally Johto's whole shit.
Some of the slickest starters in the entire series. One of the worst fucking regions. I still watch our region tier list and I laugh every time you say Johto goes in wet sock.
Well, it deserves it. Like, when you take the nostalgia goggles off, it really is a shit region. Its whole premise was just to be an add-on for Kanto.
The second I took the nostalgia goggles off and I stopped looking at Typhlosion learning Thunder Punch, I'm like, God, this region sucks. He's right.
Oh God.
Dude, one of the comments on that video was someone literally saying, "Big of you to realize you were wrong about Alola." I could tell they were mad.
That's why we try to keep it as objective as possible in terms of what was actually there. But I mean, what can you say?
I don't know where my hate for Alola came from, if I'm being honest. Like I remember hating it for some reason. Now I remember like that was like, why do I hate this region again? And then I think I just misplaced it from another. Anyways, let's
Yeah.
I want to go down the list so we talk about every Pikachu clone right now. What was the Pikachu clone in Sinnoh? Or no,
In Sinnoh, that was Pachirisu.
Pachirisu. What was the next one?
After that is Emolga in Gen 5.
Oh god, you're right.
Yeah, fuck the electric type gym leader for using 2 fucking Emolgas knowing Volt Switch.
Which one was
Asshole move.
What that one look like again?
It looks like a flying squirrel.
Oh right, God. Oh, you're right. What was the next one?
Let's hear. In the 6th generation, the Pikachu. What the fuck? I think it was Dedenne? No, Dedenne is in Gen 7. Who the hell is the Pikachu clone in Gen 6? Hold up. Pikachu clones. Who the... No, it was Dedenne. Dedenne was the Pikachu clone in Gen 6, which is just a smaller a smaller... if Raichu and Pikachu were literally combined into one...
Right. I know what you... Yeah. The one hung out with, the
hung out with the group.
The kid's sister.
Yeah, it was her Pokemon.
Yeah. What was the next one?
After that, Gen 7 was Togedemaru. And Togedemaru at least had a unique move to it, being Spiky Shield for a while.
What did that one look like?
It's a gray fat rat is the best way to describe it.
Oh,
like,
right.
if Pikachu was grayed out and fat.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah. Sorry, I didn't spend a lot of time with those regions because, I didn't have a DS, for, the first half of my childhood, so,
Oh, yeah. And then...
in Sword and Shield, it was, I forget its name, but I know what it was in Sword and Shield.
Actually, it was Morpeko. Morpeko was...
I just couldn't remember his name. Marnie had one.
Yeah, although I will say, some people consider Mimikyu part of that. However, I would
say Mimikyu's an actual legitimate, literal clone of Pikachu, in a comedic sense, not a literal sense. The idea of the saying oh yeah, put Mimikyu in there. It's like, okay, yes and no.
Yes, he literally does.
Something I love about and this is really off the topic. I don't mean to interrupt you, but this is just
Very
super
good.
cute. At the Japan Pokemon Center store, it's in the setup for every time they open up the stores that they have to put one Mimikyu plush with the Pikachu plushes and one Ditto plush with the Pikachu plushes. They have to do that every day.
It's hilarious.
When I heard that, I'm like, that's great. It's in the thing that unless you can't open the doors unless there is one of each of these plushes with the rest of the Pikachus. That's great.
Oh yeah, and I will say, I see why they put Pikachu in part of this list, or Mimikyu part of this list, because he, okay, Mimikyu unironically embodies what it means to be a Pikachu clone. It just wants to be as beloved as Pikachu in a very literal sense.
Jessie really treats her Mimikyu very, very well. I was shocked to see how nice she is to that Mimikyu.
I mean, to be fair, Team Rocket in general is actually pretty good to their Mons. It's more of the all the way around that they get abused by their Mons than they abuse their Mons. The Victory Bell, that's spending more time trying to eat James than him actually trying to be a dick to it. They actually do care for their Pokemon, and they actually do try to take care of them.
Remember when... I don't know why, but I remember fucking watching this video. I don't even remember what the video was about, but they talked about how violent the first generation was and how dark it was. And also one of the points they made was that, oh yeah, 2 of the sprites totally have whips, which means people whip their Pokemon. No shit. And I'm like, I never really thought about that before. That is kind of weird to think about. That why did 2 NPCs have a whip, or 2 sprites have a whip in the first gen? But yeah.
I mean, hell, the guy that ran the Safari Zone in Gen 1 literally had a firearm.
The banned episode in the U.S. One of the most famous.
Yep.
Episodes. That episode is actually super chill when you take away the fact that he has guns.
And he
And
tried
I
to
find
on-site Ash.
I thought the only but to really think about that, like, you know, the Safari Balls are like souped up. Like, how it was explained to me was that the Safari Balls are actually souped up versions of normal Pokeballs, so they're actually stronger than like an Ultra Ball. And that's supposed to explain why Safari Balls are the way they are, because the Pokemon in the Safari Zones are way stronger than like normal Pokemon. So you need a stronger Pokeball to even capture them. You know what I mean? That's how it was explained
How?
to me, and I'm like, that makes a lot more sense than like, because well, think about that. If the government drops off a box of Safari Balls and they're stronger than Ultra Balls, yeah, you kind of don't want people fucking walking off with them.
I mean, that's fair. I actually view it more along the lines of kind of like a petting zoo, but your life is on the line. And the safari, because it
Well,
is, at least in my
really think
perspective,
about that. They have a dragon. They have a Dragonair in the fucking pond, or the fucking lake they have out back. I'm pretty sure if any poachers came there, they'd be after that Dragonair. Like, you'd want some armed guard. Like, think about it. I mean, hell, the white rhinos in our real world fucking have armed guards around them at all times, 24/7.
oh yeah,
Like,
and
like, like,
that's
like, I would imagine a Dragonair would fucking need that too. Like, if fucking Team Rocket came along and tried to take Sugar Dragon away from me, I think I would murder someone on the spot.
and you see the funny thing is like the reason why I don't think the safari balls are better, but rather they're able to deal with more aggressive mons. Because to me, at least the perspective I was seeing it as is that the Safari Zone has more like aggressive mons or more temperamental mons. We're not so much stronger because that's how you find like you can find Pikachu's and fucking like Parises there, but you can also find actual stronger ones because they're a higher level outside of the Safari Zone. So I've always viewed it more geared towards the deal with temperamental mons, and outside of like if they're just like regular, it's not really that effective. But they also want to try to make it kind of like a game.
I just thought something else up.
Hmm.
What if canonically, like in universe, all the Pokemon Safari Zones are endangered?
Oh yeah, that was the
Like,
other vibe I was getting.
like really think about that. Like, what if they're endangered, and that's why they don't let you take your Pokemon in, because they don't want you hurting them. That's why they only give you a rock, a bag of feed, and Safari Balls.
I mean, that would make sense considering there's a lot of mons that are specifically only found in those regions in the Safari Zone, such as
Oh
Kangaskhan from
man,
Gen 1.
that's super fucking legit. Like, oh my god. But anyways, we've been talking about this for 16 minutes. I'm gonna put this at the end of the video. No,
Yeah.
but because like people are gonna click on this to watch this, but you know, like, screw it. I'll keep it in. I'll just put a timestamp for
Timestamp?
when this ends. Like, you know, so people can skip the conversation they want.
Yeah. So,
I trust my viewers, unlike a lot of other YouTubers.
anyhow. So, the Bulbasaur line. This will be
Not
interesting.
talking about the big ones. I'm talking about the shitty ones. Not. I'm not. Before anyone thinks I have beef with Alpha Rat or something. God, can you
Good shit.
imagine if me and Alpha Rat started beef? How crazy would that be?
My first response would be, what the hell did you do? I'll be real. I'll tell you what guy is. My first response would be, what the hell did you do?
With how big Alpha Rat is, I think I'd be more scared. I love the guy, but I think starting beef with Alpharad would mean I'd made it somehow.
I mean, fuck, there's a
God.
PokeTuber out there that intentionally starts beef with everyone, so...
Oh, can you imagine me getting beef with Yan?
Fucking hell.
Fucking Pokemon challenges Yan just shows up during one of my live streams. Fucking Nuzlocke pussy.
Do it, pussy. No balls.
Oh god. All rules Emerald Kaizo. Fucking do it, pussy.
Oh, hell. I don't even think... honestly, like, I won't lie, like, a big part of it is strategizing, but in Emerald Kaizo, it is hella luck dependent on your encounters.
Again. God damn it.
Anyhow, so let's get to the Squirtle line.
Okay.
What do you think of them?
Yeah, we stopped at Charizard. I forgot we stopped at Charizard. Oh, this is great. Okay. Squirtle. Literally my favorite starter ever. Like, one of them. I'm going to be fighting for Squirtle every single step and point until we get to, like, Gen 3, and then I'm going to be in trouble.
Yeah, I'm actually very surprised. I'm not too surprised that you like him. More surprised that you put him like that high in like your favorites of all the starters. You
Bruh,
know.
I had a bunch of Pokemon VHSs when I was a kid. One of the VHSs was Ash and Misty, and I think it was Brock too, hanging out on an island trying to wake up a big Blastoise that had a fucking Jigglypuff stuck in his cannon.
That's a Game Boy cartridge.
Oh shit, that was loud. Sorry.
Oh no, you're good, dude. Yeah, the Game Boy cartridge. Had that.
You had that. You had that episode.
Yeah, literally on a little Game Boy cartridge. It came with my Leaf Green.
Fuck.
I know. That's one of the few episodes I genuinely remember.
Talk about a blast from the past, right?
No kidding. Oh my god. That's crazy.
All right. Let's. Oh god, I was way too loud there. Fuck me. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I hope I didn't blow out the fucking mic.
Yeah, here's open. But
All right. So let's start the argument. Meganium.
oh, and real quick, I do want to put out some of the stuff for Squirtle real quick.
Oh yeah. Sure.
Like Squirtle, I was always neutral about. Never really loved, never really hated until ironically Gen 8. It shot up to be one of my more favorite Gen 1s. It's about tied with Charizard because my love for Charizard dropped as my care for Blastoise went up. And honestly, it's Mega Evolution. I just find it hilarious that their idea was stick a big ass cannon on its back. Not two,
I still
one big ass
I still
one.
say Gen 1 Pokemon had some of the best like Pokemon design ever. Like even though like Rattata is just a rat, like his name and his like evolution name is perfect. Rattatak, Raticate, Attack, Eradicate. Like that's brilliant. Stupid but brilliant.
Yeah. Overall, I would say Blastoise is a good pick. Although definitely not that high up on my personal list. But
Okay. So
now the slander
the
begins.
slander begins. All right, Meganium, Typhlosion, Feraligatr. It was Feraligatr was the last one, right?
So, what are your thoughts on the Chikorita line?
No. The Feraligatr was the last one for the water type, right?
Yeah, probably gives the final evolution
Okay.
for the
Fuck
water.
it. Don't leave me hanging like that. I thought I was about to look very stupid in front of the nice viewers.
Sorry, I guess my mic didn't pick up when I confirmed it.
Once again, thank you for watching. All right. So, let's go left to right here. Meganium. Okay, despite Chikorita and Meganium looking cool and being an absolute button of cuteness, cute only carries you so far. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Also, someone told me very recently that Snivy is just a better Chikorita, and I cannot unsee it anymore.
Ooh, okay. We coming out swinging.
Like when I heard that, like I was given pause, and I'm like, oh my god, they're fucking right. Snivy is just a better Chikorita, even down to kind of the shapes of their bodies and how they evolve.
All right. Okay.
I always kind of
So-
find it weird though that the Snivy line loses its arms. Like I was like, what the fuck?
Believe me, I hate it.
It bothers me. I know the idea is that their arms are on the inside of their little plant thing, and that's actually a big like bamboo shoot they're supposed to be in, is how it was explained to me. But I was like, I don't like that though, because that's what Snivy's supposed to be. It's a bamboo snake.
Although we'll hold off on the Snivy talk until we get there.
Yeah.
But I will say, the only redeeming thing about the Chikorita line, and I mean this with every fiber in my being, is Chikorita itself. It's adorable.
It is.
Bailey
It's
and
very
Meganium?
cute.
I'll be real with you. If Pokemon decided, you know what, screw it. These are no longer canon. This is no longer Pokemon. I could not give a shit if they decided Meganium, you no longer exist. Bailey, if you don't exist, you never have, you never will. I could not care. There is actually no redeeming qualities, at least to me, about that line.
I feel like, and this is just me projecting here, but I feel like you went through the same thing Donkey went through in his Sword and Shield video, like when you first played the second generation, because it's like, oh, I love him, he's cute, look at him. Evolves, go back, I don't like it anymore. Evolves again, looks worse. It's like, no.
Like, I'll be real with you.
I remember who the fuck did I went through that with fucking Tepig, oddly enough.
Like, honestly, like, I just hate that line. There is just nothing redeeming about it. Even with Pokemon trying to make Bayleaf beloved from the anime, I could not care. I
Dude,
just couldn't.
Ash's Chikorita was a bitch too.
Yeah, no, like I said, there is nothing redeeming about that Mon line in
They
general.
literally had to take Ash's Chikorita to a fucking Pokemon behavioral specialist because she was acting too aggressive towards other Pokemon. Like Chikorita beats the shit out of this Eradicate, and Chikorita's still trying to attack it after it's in the ball, and they're like, okay, we need to take you to a fucking behavioral specialist, and it was just because she was jealous of Pikachu.
Good. Good. I'm glad she's jealous because she don't deserve any of that goddamn love. Anyhow.
Funnily enough, though, she calmed down because Ash literally gave Chikorita the other shoulder. And for a while, they actually animated Ash and Chikorita on the shoulders, but then they became too hard to animate, so they stopped.
Good. Good. Get that thing out of my sight.
All right. Chikorita line, out.
Absolutely out.
All right, so then, Typhlosion. Does Typhlosion replace Charizard?
Well, what do you think?
From a game standpoint, I have to say yes. Like, getting a Charizard is an amazing, getting your first Charizard. Let me establish that. Your first Charizard is amazing feeling.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I remember when I was a little kid and seeing that, Charmeleon turn into a Charizard, and I had that moment where I was a kid and I was like, I'm just like Ash. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But taking off the nostalgia goggles, looking at everything as a whole, anime, game, extended media, I have to say, I think I would knock Charizard off for Typhlosion. As in, which is hands down the best starter. Typhlosion just has a better move pool and is just overall a more safe mon for all types of play for play than Charizard.
Yeah, I will say this right now. If you gave me an option between Charizard or Typhlosion, I'm going to pick the Typhlosion. I will say, however, they did him dirty the second we got to 3D.
Absolutely.
The fact that his flames are not on 24/7 drives me up a wall.
Oh, it makes no damn sense, especially because those are supposed to be quills.
And
which is even weirder in the anime because I remember fucking for some reason Ash's Cyndaquil and Johto had slow start.
Yeah,
like it was super weird. No joke, Cyndaquil actually legitimately in the anime, Ash's Cyndaquil had slow start. Cyndaquil actually had to heat himself up and get himself hyped up in order to use his fire moves. I remember very vividly in the fucking bug gym in the anime, fucking Cyndaquil's he just can't get the fire up, and it's a big moment when Cyndaquil finally manages to get himself warmed up and hyped up to fucking turn his flames on, which I always thought was cute. I always loved that part. Also super, super cute. That episode, they train in the mountains, and then Ash's Cyndaquil fucking takes down a Skarmory. I love that episode. Great. It's nice to see Ash actually do some fucking training for once.
Yeah, straight up, it infuriates me that the second gen starters were skipped entirely the megas because I feel like Typhlosion had so much raw potential, and
they knew their fucking mistake because in Arceus they fucking brought all this. Arceus is kind of doing what we're doing right now. I just realized.
Hisuian Typhlosion, I understand a lot of people didn't like it, but when his flames were on, oh my god, I loved it. I thought it was so amazing that they made him a fire.
You love that Oni aesthetic though. That's just you though.
Yeah, and now Grant, I will say, when his flames aren't on, he looks stoned out of his mind. Don't like that. But when his flames are on, and he's a fire ghost type for crying out loud, oh my god, I loved it. I want that in the games. Please, Scarlet and Violet, let me use my Hisuian Typhlosion in the main game.
Oh yeah, you want your Hisuian Typhlosion back. When am I going to get my fucking shiny Mightyena in a modern game?
I mean, we don't know what the roster... Actually, I think I saw Poochyena in the trailer.
Sheila has been in fucking my Alolan Storage for years. I want to see my baby dog again. She's so lonely.
I think
I want her to join Sugar Dragon.
If I recall correct, I could be wrong, but I could have sworn I saw
And Beep Boop.
Poochyena in the.
I want to have my 3 babies back. I want Beep Boop, Sugar Dragon, and fucking Sheila to all be in my party again. Damn it.
I think you might be able to in Scarlet and Violet. I'm almost positive in the trailer I saw Poochyena. Could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. I saw it at like 6 in the morning when it first showed.
I'm probably gonna need your help transferring her. By the way, like it's gonna be very difficult because we have to move her from fucking Alola to. Oh god, there's gonna be so many jumps.
Actually, it's a lot easier than you think. I can teach you how to streamline that shit.
Oh sweet, but back to the.
Wait, anyway,
topic at
yeah.
hand.
Regardless, I say Typhlosion knocks Charizard out in a heartbeat. Screw the Megas.
All
I
right.
love my Typhlosion.
So Typhlosion knocks dethrones the Charizard. Funny how that
As
works.
he should.
As he should. Okay, now then, Feraligatr versus Blastoise. This is a match. Like I talk a lot about because I actually had quite a few like Johto VHSs, like quite a few.
Dude, Totodile was the champ.
God, I always want Hoenn VHSs, but they stopped making them. They had Hoenn DVDs, and DVDs were expensive back in the day. But yeah. Like so Feraligatr. This is difficult. Because this is Blastoise we're talking about here, but this is also Feraligatr.
Honestly, if you
I'll let you take the lead on this because I need to think.
me personally, I like Blastoise, but I low-key think Feraligatr is better. Don't get me wrong, I hate Croconaw, but comparing the first stages, I think Totodile is so much cooler. And Feraligatr, he's amazing. However, I will also say, in terms of at least from a competitive standpoint, Blastoise is a lot better due to his moveset. But Feraligatr, there is one thing that every time I think of him.
Sorry, keep going.
No worries. There's one thing that comes to my mind, and it's in Heart Gold and Soul Silver. You send him out, boys cheeked up for no reason.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't know why they why they drew him like that in the damn game.
I don't know why they drew him like that. He has a tail.
Like, what, they made my boy all cheeked up for no reason. But even completely cutting that out, I love Feraligatr. Like, granted, it is on my bucket list to wrestle a damn gator, so I'm a little biased here.
It's not,
but I love him more
as
than
fun as you
Blastoise.
think. You think it's actually going to be super fun, but they really don't want you anywhere near the head. Like, it's not as fun as you think. It's cool in the moment. It's cool in the moment, but they literally do not let you touch that fucking head.
That's why we don't go to a park. We find a bitch out in the swamp and wrestle it there. If I lose an arm, then that's one hell of a story.
But I can't. Looking at Blastoise and me just like really thinking about what he is, I don't think I can. I don't think I can let Feraligatr dethrone him here. I don't think so. I think I need to make a case for Blastoise here that just design wise, just idea wise, and just generally moveset wise for all modes of play, Blastoise is just better.
And I don't disagree.
Like, remember, we're trying to find the best starter in all categories: design, moveset, game, and competitive, and anime. We have to take everything into account.
Yeah, like
also Ash's Totodile, very cute and a lot of comic relief, but he has nothing on Glass's Squirtle.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. As much as I hate to say it, like while I personally prefer Feraligatr in terms of all that combination, he does not stand up to Blastoise.
Yeah. All right, so Blastoise keeps his spot. Moving on to Hoenn. Oh dear God, I think we're about to have a new baseline here because they really took out all the stops for the Hoenn starters. Like, these are easily some of the best like starter lines in the game series. Period. I don't think I'm crazy for saying that, am I?
I don't think so either.
I know I'm a big Hoenn kid, and I know like I've gone on record saying Hoenn's like my favorite game series either, but it's for a reason. And I'm gonna I will succeed. I will like secede ground to you here because I know I need to fucking be put in check when it comes to Hoenn. But like, I don't think it's weird for me to say other than maybe a couple Mons in certain lines, these stars hold up a lot against the others.
And you're not wrong because beforehand, we get too far compared to the previous generations, specifically in the grass and water region. They're definitely actually, if anything, the grass starter line itself far exceeds anything that was done before it, especially when they gave Mega Sceptile the fucking dragon typing.
which was
Oh, that was,
nuts.
and not to mention they gave him Lightning Rod, so he was an amazing support mon in double battles with a water type, which was awesome.
Yeah, it was nuts. Like
So like,
Sceptile has no reason being as good as it is. Like your Grovyle learns Leaf Blade, and then you realize, oh my god, I have a fucking striker. Like
I will say,
this isn't a tank anymore. He's a fucking striker. And he is tanky also, because Sceptiles are tanky too for no fucking reason.
they give or take. But I will say right
depends
now,
on the mon they're up against. Like, my Sceptile was super tanky. I just remember him being tanky.
I will say though, oddly enough, I actually think Grovyle looks better than Sceptile.
Okay, here's the thing about that. Grovyle is like a huge exception. A lot of second stage evolutions for really the entire line are dumb. Like as much as I love the Swampert line, Marsh Stomp is creepy, is bizarrely dumb looking. Combuskin, weird.
Looks like a dick.
Like, oh my god, there you go again. But literally all of them, except for maybe War Turtle, because War Turtle was actually very well done. But like Grovyle, like, just looks good, hands down.
He's simple.
It's the only fucking thing. He's amazing in his simplicity. Also, that Grovyle mystery dungeon, fucking Chad, sacrifices himself to such a cool scene. Oh my god, I love Grovyle.
Yeah,
But
there's
yes,
really only like
I think hands down with us jerking off the grass line here that Bulbasaur obviously gets dethroned here.
Oh, no competition.
No competition. Now here comes the real argument. Blaziken versus Typhlosion. And I don't even know if I can handle this.
Because, like, I will say this
like,
right now.
What do you say? Like, they're both amazing, but, like, I can't even. You know what I mean?
So I'll start with this. In terms of a competitive sense, Blaziken has always outshined Typhlosion because Typhlosion has one niche. And it is a Choice Scarf with Eruption.
You're not wrong.
It's harder than a truck. But Blaziken by default, at one point Blaziken was in Ubers because when they was given speed boost. And how many times has my Blaziken had his way with your team?
Don't you ever fucking say it like that again.
But regardless, like, as much I love Typhlosion, especially Hisuian Typhlosion. I think Hisuian Typhlosion is better than Blaziken. However, it is not fair for me to use one version against a baseline, and at least to me, Blaziken is better than Typhlosion, especially as the games progress later and later. Blaziken has just outperformed Typhlosion, and in general, I have found more fun using him compared to base Typhlosion. Not to mention his Mega. Oh god, that shit looks clean. I love it.
Yeah, his Mega's pretty cool. I like that Sceptile gets the Christmas tree and his Mega Evolution fires that shit off like a missile.
Exactly.
Great.
So for me, a Blaziken takes the crown on this one.
I want to make a case for Typhlosion here, but like, I think the only thing that Typhlosion has going for it is that it has maybe a little bit more play in the anime than Blaziken gets. But
unless you didn't count the movies. If you count the movies, Blaziken has been shown more.
You're not wrong, but like my problem is that, like, May had a Torchic for the longest fucking time. She does get a Combuskin though. She does.
Oh yeah.
Like Torchic evolves eventually. I can't remember if she gets a Blaziken though. Like yeah.
Yeah, like
I don't remember, but regardless, like, you know, I have to admit that I think Blaziken takes the crown here. Like, I don't think Blaziken's gonna get dethroned for this entire fucking list, which is scary.
Well, I've got two counter arguments to that, but we'll get there when we get there.
All right, Typhlosion, you've been replaced. Now then, Blastoise versus Swampert. So here's my problem. Swampert has easily way better competitive play than Blastoise ever will.
Actually,
let me rephrase that. Swampert has a way better typing and way better move pool than Blastoise ever will.
About that second part.
Oh, come on. Like, Blastoise doesn't learn Muddy Water.
You're
Also, his
right.
ground typing's really good.
His ground typing is good. However, the biggest thing that differs Blastoise from Typhlosion is setup. Blastoise can set up in one turn, whereas
Oh god, you're
Swampert
right.
can't.
Fuck.
And
Okay, so
don't get me wrong.
competitive wise here, the point goes to Blastoise.
Yeah, the only time I'd argue Swampert's better is his Mega. That is the only time I'd argue for Swampert.
Swampert does have a legit great Mega.
Honestly, I'll be real. I'm not a huge fan of how it looks. However, I will at least say that
I love how Swampert looks in the Mega form. I think it's great.
I think it's a little odd personally. They just made him jacked. Like they made Swampert swole as all hell.
Oh
and
yeah, and what they fucking give Blaziken? A jacket.
a jacket with fiery wrist. Thank you very much.
That's all they gave him was a fucking jacket. At least Sceptile and fucking like Swampert looks different. If anything, like,
I would
fucking,
argue Sceptile looks. I would argue that Mega Sceptile looks even less differing from base Sceptile.
he gets stripes and a cool tail.
Yeah,
And also-
Blaziken
and also
at least
things-
has a different color scheme.
So does Sceptile. The color
Brother.
palette switches.
He literally just gets yellow balls on his back and a red stripe down his tail.
He's still
After-
it's still better in my opinion.
But
Look, are we gonna argue about semantics? Or are we actually pedantics is actually what this show is all about?
like, I'll be real with you. Comparing all the megas, I think Blaziken looks the best, just because it's not over the top in one way or another. They made Sceptile look like a Christmas tree. I'm not saying it's bad. They just made him
Pine
look
tree,
very
but still,
festive.
we're on Swampert now.
Swampert, they just
Blaziken's already on the throne. We don't gotta dethrone him yet.
Swampert, they just made him go to the gym. That's all they did.
Are we really about to fucking have Blastoise keep his crown?
Mm, Don't worry.
I'm not saying that negatively. I'm just like, I'm almost hyped about that. Like Blastoise is fucking kicked like two gens to the curb.
It is incredibly close, much like with Feraligatr, because don't get me wrong, Swampert has a phenomenal typing.
Dude, Swampert's like one of my favorites in the entire series. Line wise, I just think he's great. But thinking about it like objectively, I think Blastoise still has more points because what did Swampert have? He had one episode in Hoenn where the crew was going through an old ship and there's a Swampert sort of just messing with them the entire time. They thought it was a monster, which is kind of weird because they're it's fucking Pokemon world. They're not. Oh yeah, I guess they are a monster. Never mind.
Yeah.
Anyway,
they are
but
pocket
like
monsters.
actually thinking about like that, like can you imagine being on an old abandoned ship and there's just a Swampert in it just messing with you? How actually scary that would be.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. But like this is what I'll say for Swampert's case. The problem I have with Swampert is that while he has phenomenal typing, you so much as if he grazes a blade of grass, oh he's dead. He's screwed.
Yeah.
There's nothing he can do about it.
Mudkip has
But-
the meme and Mudkip's adorable, but
I also think Mudkip's a little overhyped. I'll be real. I don't get me wrong. He's cute.
it's literally just the meme. That's all we're losing it on.
Yeah, like I'll be real. Like I can go either way in terms of sheer competitiveness. Blastoise tends to outperform the Swampert because almost a lot of people like to run the Fire, Grass, Water trio.
You're not
If there's
wrong.
a single grass type, Swampert can't do
I'll
shit.
concede there. I mean, it's not a hard thing to concede. It's Blastoise, but yeah, Blastoise has kept his crown. God, we're 2 generations in, and fucking. It's
Yeah,
funny.
like,
It's funny how we get to the 3rd gen, and Blastoise is still around, but we've kicked the other 2 to the curb.
Like I will say, like if Megas were still a viable thing in today's competitiveness, I would give it to Swampert because Swift Swim with Mega Swampert stats is insane. But if it's not raining, he has no ability.
Yeah.
And whereas Blastoise, he don't give a shit. So
Alright.
I'll have to
Next.
give it to Blastoise.
Next gen, Blastoise it is. Good God.
Oh, don't worry. I have a strong case with this group.
Okay, I know I'm gonna have to hold you back on your Infernape love, but we have to go left to right here. So,
Yes.
Torterra. Sorry, I couldn't think of the first one.
No, you're good, dude.
I'm not Frenzy Plant, fucking amazing move.
Yeah.
But then again, Frenzy Plant was kind of in Johto, so you know what I mean.
Well, it's not every starter can learn those types of moves.
I know,
Blast
but
Burn,
yeah,
Frenzy
yeah.
Plant.
But I'm not sure I want to say Torterra's better than like Sceptile in a way. When it comes to looks, I mean, all Torterra is just a grass version of Blastoise. You know what I mean?
Damn. Okay. We chosen violence today.
I said when it comes to looks, really think about that for a second. Also,
I would
we
say a
already
better
had.
version of Venusaur, personally.
I was literally about to say. Also, you could just say it's just Venusaur with a different plant. If you let me finish. You know what I mean?
No, go on.
but really think about that. Like, it really is just a plant version of Blastoise because Bulbasaur, you can argue, like, is a turtle or a frog, but like, no, like, you know, I just don't think like he's better than Sceptile in a way. He's cool. Don't get me wrong. He's tanky, and I love tanks, but like, I'm not sure I prefer the abilities and like the growth area. Like, thinking about all of it. Ash's what's the first one again?
Turtwig.
Turtwig. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking. I was thinking Tortag, and I'm like, that's not right.
I mean, it's close.
Yeah, it was very close. I was like, I'm close, but that's not right. But Turtwig, his line is cool, and Ash's Turtwig is cool, especially when it. But like, I don't want to get into that because like, if we go off the anime, the points are gonna get really weirdly weird.
I would say they should have some level of weight because it does go into.
They do. Trust me, they do. Let's not forget, the anime almost fucking is what kept Charizard over Typhlosion. Let's not forget that.
Yeah.
Actually, no. We got to stick with our reasoning. In the anime, Charizard may be fucking cool, but the games have made it way too fucking much.
Yeah, no. I will say for Torterra, there's a few things that I feel benefits not only him, but this entire region. All the starters have a secondary typing that they can fight back what they're naturally weak to.
Which is cool.
I love that.
It is cool.
It is absolutely amazing, but for Torterra specifically, I love that they gave him an actual tree and some rocks. Not to mention, they made this man able to learn Earthquake, arguably the best ground type move, at level 32. Man learned it when he evolved, and I love Torterra for that. Like, I'll be real, this was the first grass starter that I felt like made a breeze out of the game because he could just one-shot damn near everything. Like, they gave him an insanely powerful move, incredibly early. He's slower than shit, don't get me wrong, but he hits like a goddamn truck. And
didn't Ash's like dickweed rival in the fucking anime have a Torterra as well? And then Torterra had to teach Ash's Growlo how to fucking fight because the leap from Turtwig to Growlo is so fucking drastic that the Pokemon like the I got tongue tied there for a second. Ash's then Growlo fucking had such a hard time learning how to fight because he was used to moving so fast that he had to learn to fight like a boxer, which I think is cool. I really like that in the anime, like, canonically, some Pokemon have trouble with their evolutions. I do think that's really cool, and that's a point for Torterra. Like, but then again, that point is matched, and it's a tie because Grovyle in Mystery Dungeon is the coolest motherfucker.
Like, for me, it's... In terms of looks, I think Torterra's a much better looking final evolution. The other two lines I would give to the Trico line, but me personally, I think Torterra is a cooler Pokemon than Sceptile is, even though in terms of competitive sense.
We're not talking about personal opinions here. We are being objective here. We have to take into account to everything. Move pools, competitive plays, anime, and just playing the game naturally, like,
If that's the case, and I hate to break it to you, there is one big thing that Torterra has over Sceptile. Its stat spread actually helps it.
I know, and I was trying to avoid that topic because Torterra's stat, like I said, Torterra's a good tank, and that's the worst part about him. He's a good tank, a very good tank, because he can not only eat it, he can dish it out.
The biggest problem I have with Sceptile is that he's actually a better special attacker than he is a regular attacker. He's a better special than he is a physical attacker. Whereas Torterra, they chose to double down on
Dude,
that shit.
Giga Drain stab is nothing to laugh at.
It's more along the lines of like his critical Razor Leaf or his Earthquake, and all together, like comparing the two of them side to side.
I've had the course of two Nuzlockes like literally hinge on like crit Giga Drain or stab Giga Drain. Like that's nothing to sneeze at. Like grass types can be a fucking problem sometimes.
Yeah, and all together, it's kind of in terms of competitive viability. I would still have to give it to Sceptile purely because of his Mega. Otherwise,
I should probably be keeping a tally for this. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
as we go through it, I should just mark them down as we come across them because we're gonna get to forget who fucking has what points.
that's fair. Although honestly, for me, I'm just mostly keeping track of because there is going to be some level of subjectiveness to it because I think the way that the Pokemon looks does play a huge part in its popularity.
100%. Like fucking I know Snivy is very, very good competitively. I do not like it.
Yeah, and that's just it. Like in terms of competitiveness, Sceptile has the advantage. In terms of showing in the anime, Sceptile's got that. In terms of who sweep their game a bit easier,
I would say when it comes to the anime, it's even because like Turtwig in the anime, like understand I may not have been able to play the games, but because of that, I kept up feverishly with the anime because I could never play the games. That's basically, I guess I'm the anime Lorax here when it comes to Pokemon, but like Turtwig just got almost as much play. Like I'll say this, like Grovyle has like one of the coolest characters in like Mystery Dungeon period, and that's a hard one to beat because Mystery Dungeon was great. But like I would say that Turtwig has like a lot of good moments in the base anime. Not saying that Ash's Trico wasn't sneezing at nothing. It was one of the few Pokemon starters that Ash had that actually made it to Sceptile.
And not just that, but
fighting that dude's Loudron, they both evolve at the same time into Exploud and Sceptile is awesome.
well, not just that, but Grovyle KO'd a Darkrai. Let that sink in. When the one dude decided to bring Legends into play, Grovyle's the one that finished off the Darkrai.
What? Which movie?
That wasn't a movie. That was an act. That was during like how like there's always like that final championship in the anime, and it's like kind of like a tournament thing that they like to do. Grovyle KO'd a Darkrai.
Fuck, I forgot that happened there.
Not to mention, we got to see Mega Sceptile in the anime in the 6th generation.
I forgot that was fucking they did the updated Hoenn region anime. I forgot about that.
That wasn't updated. That was out during the season premiere. Like during the season was still like airing.
Darkrai's from Sinnoh.
It's because so that was because Ash brought him in the Sinnoh region. Grovyle's one of the few mons that Ash brought from one region to another. Because they didn't revamp it.
I want you to look this up right fucking now. I've already marked the time down. I'm supposed to cut. But I want you to look this up right now before fucking we continue on at any point here. Because fucking that I think you might have
Let's see here.
Tile.
Yeah, right here. Here's a Sceptile beating Darkrai. In the 4th.
Yeah, it was the Sinner League semifinals. Entered Darkrai. He brought. Yeah, okay, I found it. Okay, yeah. Oh yeah, he transferred his Sceptile in for this fight.
Yeah, he brought him and his Heracross as well as his Torkoal. Like he actually brought a fair amount of his Gen 3 mons over.
Yeah, he didn't have these Pokemon starting through Sinnoh. He
brought them over for this fight.
Yeah, okay. That's where I was trying to fucking figure it out because I was like, no, he didn't have it through all of Sinnoh. What are you, fucking nuts? And then I had to take a walk through memory lane there for a second.
Yeah,
bro. One time I was talking to someone at work I was friends with. Fucking like I was talking like, oh yeah, it's like in the first series where Gary fights Mewtwo, and they're like, that didn't happen. Where are you fucking nuts? And I'm like, bruh, Gary fights Mewtwo. It's in the same fucking episode as Ash gets the fucking normal gym badge. I have the VHS, and they're trying to tell me, oh, it's the Mandela effect, and I'm like, I have the fucking VHS at home. Fucking look it up on YouTube. And they came back after lunch, and sure enough, they had this look on his face, and I was so smug for the rest of the day. God, I bet I was fucking insufferable because they were like, okay, he doesn't fight Mewtwo. He's in armor. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Is Mewtwo in his armor? Is that Mewtwo inside that Mewtwo armor? Gary fought Mewtwo. He fucking lost like a bitch, but yeah.
I mean, to be fair, that was fucking Mewtwo.
How fucking salty do you think Gary must have finally been to be humbled and then to watch Ash have the fucking easiest gym fight of his entire life? God, I'd be fucking pissed because Giovanni sends like fucking the clone of Pokemon God at you.
Yeah, honestly, I'd be saltier than hell.
God. But granted, after all the shit Gary put the crew through, I'd say he deserved it. That was literally
he deserved to get humbled.
That was divine karma. That was karma from the entire series, fucking hitting Gary straight in the face. It's like, that's what you get for being an asshole. Now that I think about it, Gary usually gets his just desserts one way or another.
It's only a matter of time.
Like I remember when Ash was trying to get the fire badge, I think, and they went to that volcano island, and fucking Gary fucking takes the last like hotel room from them, and then the Jigglypuff sings for them, and then like, you know, Gary's being
fucking scene.
Yeah, you remember that.
Yeah, I actually do remember. That's one of the few.
Then he spends the rest of his life chasing Dawn, even though Dawn just wants him as a friend.
Yeah.
God,
anyhow,
I feel so bad for Gary. He fucking finally finds the one girl he wants, and she just wants him as a friend.
Yeah.
Oh God, Gary, fucking, that's what you get for fucking being an asshole. Like ultimate karma there.
So, I'll be real. I think Sceptile keeps it for this round.
Are we really saying Sceptile keeps it?
Like comparing the two side to side, honest to God, like, don't be wrong, Torterra has an easier time through Sinnoh, but Sceptile has better feats in the anime. Also, I think he has better scenes in the anime.
We also have to say that, you know, even though the anime plays a big part of it, like, you know, the Pokemon games are games first. The anime is like, you know, like we have to treat the anime as like 1 point, but competitive and casual are like 2 points each. You know what I mean?
Yeah, on a casual sense, Sceptile would have an easier... Actually, Grotto would have an easier time through his run. Competitive sense, it's very 50-50. It just depends. Can the Torterra one-shot the Sceptile and survive a hit from it first?
Well, we're not competing against these two. We're competing against the actual competitive scene. You know, meta and all.
Yeah, the problem is neither of them have ever really been meta.
Yeah, shit, you're right.
So, it's so insanely close. I could go either way with this. Personally, I like Torterra's looks better, so... screw it. I'm giving it to Torterra.
The thing is, like, as much as I want to give this to Torterra, there's something about Sceptile that keeps bringing me back to him now. I was almost completely on like the Torterra side, but you're right. Sceptile has better moments in the anime, and that half point really pushes it because, like, what's the last fucking like? We can name off like how many points in the anime that Sceptile is being cool. There's only that one moment in you know, Sinnoh where Turtwig actually has that cool moment, right?
Yeah, like like I said, I could go either way with this. Like I can go either way.
I think like that last half point for the anime really pushes Sceptile over. He keeps his crown, I think.
All right.
I mean, to be fair, like I said, I mean,
it's such a toss up on this. I could go either way. I'm happy with whichever result of these two because there is another ahead.
I mean, it just really tells you fucking which mon is better. Ash had a Growlo in Sinnoh, and he fucking go grabs his Sceptile.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong. Like in terms of
I
Ash's
forgot that he
particular mons,
totally did do that. Fuck yeah, I think Sceptile keeps it for like the better grass starter.
yeah, I'm gonna have to give it a Sceptile on this.
Yeah. Okay. So, Infernape versus Blaziken. This is going to be a fight, not between me and you, but with you and yourself.
Believe me, I'm well aware. What do you think? I'm not looking forward to
You're
it?
gonna have to figure out what camp you sit in, because you know I sit in Blaziken camp, but I don't even know if you can figure out your bullshit. Because I know competitive wise, you love Blaziken, but you also love Infernape.
All right. Do you want me to start off with this so we can get me out of the way? And because there are certain things that right off the bat, I think Infernape takes this. But it is mostly because in the anime, he is the very few times we ever see an ability.
Okay. Anime point. Ash's Chimchar gets so much character development.
It's insane.
Like there are here's the thing. I don't care for Infernape, but this isn't about my personal opinion. It's about the objective opinion. And even I can back down and say Blaziken does not have as many cool anime moments as Chimchar does. Like Chimchar gets a full fucking arc. Let's remember that he gets an arc.
Yeah, not only did he get an arc, but the payback he delivered to Paul, satisfying as all hell. Man had a Super Saiyan rage boost.
God, fucking Paul, man. Like, if there was like a scummy motherfucker in all the games, Paul was it, man. Like, I remember viciously being upset every time Paul was on screen because I knew he was gonna say some bullshit.
Yeah, no, you see, he's just a harsher competitive player because I had to break it to you, but a lot of his competitive players have a very similar mindset to Paul. As much as I hate to say that, it is the case. Oh, your stats are shit? To the box you go.
Fucking, there was an episode. Fucking, what was the name of the Pokemon? I think it was Stantler. Fucking, Paul's catching Stantlers. He pairs two of them and releases it on the spot.
No, it was Starly. He did that to Starly because one had Quick Attack and one didn't. And the one that didn't have Quick Attack, he got rid of.
I thought it was Stantler he did that with.
No, he did it with Starly.
Was it? Oh, God, I think...
It was one of the first interactions we had with him. He caught two Starlies, like, oh, this one has Quick Attack. This one doesn't. Away with you.
Fucking releases it. Oh, no. He catches a Stantler later. That's right.
But, like...
No. Yeah, you're right. He does that with the Starly. He just catches a Stantler later. I think it was to test something. I forget. But anyways.
I'm not sure.
Fucking God, like it's like one of the you've never said anything more real until that point, Red.
Like we grew up hating Paul, but if you go in the competitive scene, you become more like Paul.
Fucking just like Paul's just like, yeah, nah, and just releases the fucking Starly.
Just gets rid of it.
Just on the spot. Don's just like, what the fuck?
But I will also say, like, with Infernape, at least within the anime, he's one of the only mons we see his ability come into effect being Blaze, where the weaker he gets, the more damage he does with fire type moves, and the rage boost from hell and the ass whooping he delivered to Paul was so satisfying that there is literally nothing that Blaziken has ever done in the anime to even compare to that.
Well, the problem is they give Torchic to May, so.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
In my opinion, Ash should have had Torchic and Trico. May should have had Mudkip. And that's how it should have played out. Like, you know, it would have been way better, in my opinion, if that's how it shook out. Because I understand why they did that in the anime, but I still say it was a bad call. Yeah. Because you don't want two very similar Pokemon on Ash's team.
Yeah. Now, so in terms of a competitive sense, Blaziken still takes this, even though I find Infernape more satisfying. Just because I have to set up with Blaziken. I don't have to set up.
You also have something to worry about here, also, because let's not forget Infernape's in your fucking like portrait.
Yeah, he's one of my go-tos, and I love Infernape. I love him with all my heart.
In your portrait, you have your favorite Pokemon. In my portrait, I have the Pokemon that mean the most to me emotionally. I have Beep Boop. I have Beep Boop, Sugar Dragon, and Sheila.
Yeah, like in terms of sheer competitiveness
No,
from
Sasha. That's Sheila. I don't know where the fuck that came from. Sasha.
in terms of sheer competitiveness as an unbiased area, Infernape takes the cake. Even though I prefer using, or I'm sorry, Blaziken takes the cake. Even though I do prefer Infernape. In terms of the Pokemon's inspiration, this is Sun Wukong for crying out loud.
All right, you have a fucking stiffy for Sun Wukong. I forgot about that.
Dude, he is the OG of main protagonist bullshit.
I love
of
the
that.
myth of Sun Wukong. I'm still waiting for Black Myth, but
Oh yeah, that'll be hype.
I
Comparing the two inspirations together, it's a fiery chicken that kicks compared to Sun Wukong himself.
Technically, it's based off of a specific breed of fighting chicken that can kick, kind of like secretary birds. But you know,
regardless, it's a fiery chicken with legs compared to Sun Wukong.
I think the problem is that, you know, it's like we're tied here pretty much, because I'm looking at the points right now, because casual play goes to Blaziken, competitive play goes to, competitive play goes to Infernape. Wait,
all the way around. Casual play Infernape
casual play goes to Infernape. Competitive play goes to Blaziken. We talk about the anime. Blaziken has it. Blaziken has 3 points. I'm sorry, Infernape has 3 points, right?
Yep. In terms of looks, I personally say
in terms of looks, they both look great. Honestly, their designs are amazing. And you have to take nostalgia goggles off of this. Yes, Sun Wukong's great, but you know we have to look at this objectively, not opinionly.
And I would also argue,
so we'll call their looks a tie, because they're both just amazingly designed. Hell, they both have the same fucking color palette.
and their typings are lit, even though
They're
get to the next gen. Fighting.
Yep. So typing's also another tie. I think actually Infernape has it because of the half point, because of the anime, or the full the point because of the anime. So looking at this objective wise, like, you know, I mean, Infernape has more because Blaziken is just missing that point from the anime.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention, funnily enough, I will also say something that is hilarious. Infernape has one of the highest
moveset. We have to that'll be so if Blaziken can pull this back in the moveset, which is another point, because moveset's just a single point as well. So we might have a full tie here.
I'll be real with you. Going off of right now, their movesets are almost identical. However, going off of over the past since their release, Infernape has had a better moveset for the longest time. Hell, Blaziken only just now got close combat. Infernape has had that since his fucking release. And not to mention, Infernape also, much like Blaziken, can learn like Stone Edge, so he can block off the flying types, and they both can learn Flare Blitz. The only difference between the two of them is that Infernape has had his moveset longer.
I think that's another tie for moveset. So really, Infernape just takes this because he has the point in the anime. Like, that's literally the only reason, like, Infernape takes it.
I would argue that Infernape should straight up take the point, even though it doesn't really matter, just because he's had his moveset longer.
The thing is, he's had longer, but we're in the modern day. We can't look back at the lens of that. You know what I mean? If we were to go back to Blaziken's base moveset, Blaziken, we wouldn't even be able to put Infernape in, because Infernape didn't exist. So we have to take this from a modern
You're
standpoint.
wrong about that. Or you're right about that, but I do think it's still
I was about to say, how am I wrong?
No,
it's
don't be wrong.
actually correct. Infernape didn't exist when Blaziken
I'm simply misspoke. But I will also say that I think the context matters in terms of their release generation.
Context does matter, yes. But we also have to look at it because moveset ties in with competitive play. And you don't run a Pokemon based off of its original standpoint. You based off its modern one.
Yeah.
So I have to say, modern sensibilities and all, Blaziken and Infernape are tied on moveset because they have similar movesets. You know, you said it yourself. The only thing is because that he's has moveset for longer. Well, they have same movesets.
Yeah. The only reason why I'm saying it, I argue it should matter a bit more in this sense.
Infernape is winning. I don't know what you're arguing here.
I'm just trying to future-proof this a little bit. The only reason why I'm saying that we should take into account, and especially well, up to about this Gen 5, I think is the latest this should matter, is purely due to the fact that the competitive play has been around. And when I'm thinking of competitive play, I'm thinking of all throughout, unless the Mon popped the hell off in recent generations.
I still say we have to look at it as of today. You know what I mean? Of what they look like today. Because if we were to go by moveset, we would have two different winners here. You know what I mean? So I think we need to just look at things from modern sensibilities instead of, like, taking into account everything. Context helps, but it's not going to get the point. Okay?
I'm still gonna base it off of a by state basis, but regardless, Infernape takes the cake on this.
Yeah, like I don't like I said, I don't know what the fuck you were arguing for. Infernape wins it because of the anime. The anime once again turning the fucking scales for like another Mon here.
Yeah, you just can't compare the anime between the two. You just can't. So Empoleon, Piplup, Prinplup. Oh boy,
Versus
this.
Blastoise.
Oh boy. All
I'm gonna
right,
take the lead on this.
go for it.
I think they tie on the anime point, believe it or not. Like, Dawn's Piplup is super expressive, super funny, amazing. There's a ton of points in the anime that I can point out that I love. Like, I remember when there was that imposter Piplup, and the way they figured out which one was the real is because Gibble used fucking Draco Meteor and Piplup had a fucking schizophrenic panic attack.
Yeah.
Or sorry, PTSD fueled panic attack because she was hit by so many times. But then again, we have Sunglasses Squirtle. Ash's Squirtle was very, very, very expressive, very charismatic. He was fun. He had a bunch of good moments. I think they're tied on the anime point, and I can't say which one's better than the other. You know what I mean?
I can't really disagree outside of. Yeah, honestly, I really can't disagree. The only because I do think they're tied because don't get me wrong, Piplup has also performed some amazing feats in like the
The only
competitions.
argument you can make that Piplup would be like, above that is because Piplup wears the maid outfit and it's adorable, but Squirtle wears the fucking jacket and the shades, which makes it even better. So it's like, okay, they're tied again.
Yeah, like the only other thing I can give Piplup is that he's a lot better when paired with another Mon. Like he actually knows how to like synergize with other moves where Squirtle does not.
Dawn's Piplup was a girl.
Yeah, you're right. But regardless, like Piplup knows how to like actually synergize with other Dawn's Pokemon's moves, and I thought that was cool to see the moves combine into one and create such awesome scenes. I don't give a rat's ass about the Pokemon contest in general, but I loved seeing Piplup out there because Piplup would just do some cool ass shit.
One of my favorite moments of all time. It's very rare that they show this in the anime, but Ash traded Pokemon with someone because Ambipom was way more fucking interested in the contest, and Weasel was way more interested in Pokemon battling. So very, very cute. But that has nothing to do with neither. I'm just giving fucking
Bonus points.
yeah. I'm giving God, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm really glad we did not put Sinnoh as low as we did in the region decks because the anime was great, but the anime really wasn't taken into account too much.
I mean, none of the animes were outside of like if they were able to show us something within the region.
Actually, when I went back, actually, a lot of the anime takes place in like the forest or just a city. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah, no, believe me, there's a reason why I rated
It's the
it so
movies
low.
that give us. It's the movies that give us cool locales. But regardless, so that's that. They're tied on anime and they're tied on looks. I think they're well. Yes, I do think they're tied on looks because Empoleon's
Really?
design, it's just slick. It's sleek. It's cool. It's awesome for a Pokemon design. Like,
Me
Blastoise, we're getting a little bit like Blastoise is still vanilla, but I still say that, they might be tied on looks because, Empoleon's slick, he's sleek, he's cool.
I would
But
argue,
Blastoise has the amazingness simplicity thing that Grovyle had.
yeah, and I would personally argue for Empoleon here, purely by the fact that looking at Blastoise, a Blastoise personality could be all sorts of things. Looking at Empoleon, you know it's going to be prideful. You know it's going to think it's royalty.
He has a
Like,
crown.
Exactly. And
Like you're looking at Blastoise, you know he's the big Kahuna. You know he's the one that leads the leads the troop of the Wartortles and the little dregs of like Squirtles. I mean, we see this in the anime. Like a bunch of Squirtles are hanging out with the Blastoise because he's the one that protects the whole group.
but like with Empoleon is like it gives off a royal vibe,
Actually, now
or
that I
like
think
it's
about it, like the morphology of both of these Mons is super similar. You have the Squirtles, which are the single dudes. There are a bunch of them. Piplups are the same way. You have the Wartortles, which is usually only one or two in a group because so is Primplup. Is it Primplup?
Prinplup is the middle
Yeah,
evolution.
yeah, yeah. So is the Primplup. There's only ever one Primplup in a group because two can't be in the same group. Same with Wartortles. Then you have Blastoise, which is only one of in a group. It's kind of
I,
weird that they have the same morphology.
I mean, it kind of makes sense when you think more about like the evolution line. However, I did just realize something.
What's up?
I low-key think that if Blastoise was released in Gen 2 onward, he'd be a Water Steel type, thanks to his cannons.
Oh, he would totally be a Water Steel type.
Like, honestly, he just got fucked. I feel, and honestly, that'll be later down the road, but I honestly do think that Blastoise would have been a Water Steel type had he been released in Gen 2 onward.
There were no Steel types in Gen 1, were there?
Nope. Magnemite was a base electric type at the
Oh,
time.
yeah, that's nuts. That's
Oh, Steel,
crazy.
Steel type was included to help balance out Psychic type from Gen 1.
Yeah. Back
But,
when Dragon type only had 2 moves.
no kidding.
Anyways, like I think we're tied on looks. We're tied on anime.
I would personally I personally think Empoleon, if you're tied on the looks, I personally think Empoleon looks better.
Then we have to give like, like. Here's the thing about that though. I think arguably this will have to come down to competitive, because looks wise we have two different things here. We have a very slick modern look, but then like we have Blastoise, which is like I said, amazing simplicity. It's simple. You can see what Blastoise is all about there. He's the big Kahuna. He's got the cannons. He's a sea turtle. Like, it's amazing. Like I said, I think we have to say that they both encompass the top tier of their side of their looks. So I think we're just tied here and here.
We'll see where this continues on to the other category.
If we have to, we'll give each of these tied points to one of them. You know what I mean? Because I feel like we can lean more towards like one of them winning the anime and one of them having the looks, but I think we'll keep the ties for now.
I mean, I already am personally more leaning towards Empoleon, but we'll see.
That's it. That's personal opinion. We have to be objective. All right, let's talk about the moveset next. Who has the better moveset?
Oh boy. Okay.
Moveset takes into account both competitive and casual. But who is better for competitive versus casual are their own like things. You know what I mean?
So the thing here is that in terms of sheer typing of the movesets, Empoleon has the better spread.
Empoleon does have the better spread for movesets because he has the steel typing. Yes.
And in terms of a competitive sense, the steel typing alone goes such a long way.
Yeah. So I think Empoleon just wins the moveset like category.
I would say the moveset and the typing. He wins.
Moveset's just one.
I know.
Oh god, typing's in there fucking.
Yeah, and I'm gonna have to give that to Empoleon.
I'm just gonna fucking add typing to moveset. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and
typing.
He owns that in spades. Like there's no competition. The steel typing is too good.
So okay, so far Empoleon has 1 point.
In terms of competitive viability, with Mega Blastoise,
No, you're right.
With Mega Blastoise, the problem here is that Mega Blastoise really wasn't used a lot because all the other Megas had something extra for them. Mega Blastoise.
Though, let's say you're on Pokemon Showdown, and you're building a team, and it's a random set, and you're given a choice between a Blastoise and Empoleon. Really?
You can fuck fairy types, and he can wall off dragons.
Fair enough, but Blastoise can do some crazy setups. You said it yourself.
You're right, he has good setups, assuming he can survive the first turn. Empoleon's more likely to survive that first turn. just by nature that he has far more resistances than Blastoise does, with more offensive
You're
advantages.
slowly convincing me, but I feel like, you know what I mean? Like, I can't believe I'm
You
about
gotta
to
keep
say
it
this, but
subjective.
exactly. Like, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but looking at everything objectively, like, like there may be a lot of ties here, but it's leaning more towards Empoleon.
Like the biggest problem for Empoleon right now is that he wasn't in the 8th generation, so we don't know what his new moveset would be updated to. Is
Exactly.
the problem, and this is why I was trying to future-proof it because if
Which
we
means
want to,
that Blastoise wins the casual because Blastoise is in more games than Empoleon.
well, of course he's gonna be in more games than Empoleon. He's been released 3 generations earlier.
Which means, but hey, category is a category regardless. So Blastoise wins the casual category. Which
In
means
terms of
Blastoise has 2 points and Empoleon has 2 points as well. So we have to go. Oh, hang on, wait. No, Empoleon has 3 points because of the competitive and the moveset typing.
yeah,
So now we have to go back to looks and anime. Or do we just want to keep those ties? Because, do we already have Empoleon winning here.
yeah, I just say we give it to Empoleon. Like,
Okay. Empoleon dethrones. Hey, it was a good run, Blastoise. I mean,
I
and
mean, at least it.
he survived 2 generations.
I mean, on the bright side, at least Empoleon, literally the embodiment of royalty of the water type starters, dethroned the damn Blastoise.
It's not bad. I mean, and I said it myself. Like, their morphology and their moments in the anime are super similar. They tie on a lot of spots. It's just that Empoleon's more competitively viable. And I have to say, if anyone has to be replaced, I'm glad that Dawn's Piplup is the thing I have in my head right now, rather than just a Pokemon that's fucking nothing.
Speaking of fucking nothings,
Oh
Gen
boy.
5. Oh god.
Okay. Ash's Snivy. We're starting with the anime on this one because Gen 5 arguably has to be started with the anime because the anime was pretty good.
I have to give props to the anime. Like it was actually
The
it was
anime salvaged Gen 5.
like okay, the problem I have with going with the anime is comparing I thought Gen 5 anime wasn't bad. I thought Gen 4 was still better, but Gen 5 was, in my opinion, better than the first and second. However, Pikachu getting his ass kicked to a Snivy when the episode prior he squared up with a Dragonite.
Yeah, that bothered me.
Care.
Also, I have to admit, I can't actually give this a point to I can't. I just literally the dumbest moment I've ever seen ever in the anime period was in Gen 5. So I can't say it salvages completely because what's the name of that fucking fire type Pokemon that has like a weird hook head? It's like a weasel looking motherfucker.
Weasel looking motherfucker with a hook head?
Kind of like an anteater head.
Oh, Anteater. Oh, okay. Shit, I forgot his goddamn name. He is. Hang on.
Heatmore?
Heatmore, yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's such an irrelevant one.
So Ash finds the dude that fucking abandoned the Tepig, and then the dude got another Tepig, and then Emboar is the last one, right?
Emboar's the final evolution.
So then the dude has an Emboar and a Heatmore. You want to know what fucking happens in that episode? Ash being a stupid fucking vegetable glass of water that is like not even cold or hot, it's just sitting there and there's dust in it, so you have to dump it out. I think I need to stop or else I'll be going on how dumb.
Yeah, regardless, he does some stupid ass shit.
He does literally the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen in the anime, period. Ash challenges this dude with an Emboar and a Heatmore to a battle. I want to mention at this point, I'm almost certain Ash has at least one water type. I'm almost certain. But no. He uses, instead of his second form water type, because I know he had one, I'm almost certain, I might be wrong, but I just remember thinking he has better Pokemon for this. He uses his first form Snivy and his first form Tepig.
Yep.
I gave up. Literally, I gave up on the anime. I didn't watch any of the Gen 6 anime because of
Oh, it's
that.
Gen 5.
Huh?
Gen 5.
We're on Gen 5 right now.
Yeah, you said Gen 6.
That's because I gave up on it.
Oh.
Do you understand where I'm coming from now? It's like I gave up on I gave up on Gen 6 because,
No, you're fair. Like,
I eventually
yeah, no.
I eventually wrapped it around to Gen 6 because, I had to know. But,
Yeah.
I gave after Gen 5 I gave up. But
There,
going back to it, like, I don't think any of these mons are winning the anime point at all. Except for maybe Oshawott. Oshawott was fun.
like, I've only seen bits of Gen 5,
I'll be the
and
anime Lorax again. I'll tell you which one deserves which point. Trust me. I'm just gonna tell you this right now. Infernape still has the anime point.
as far as I can tell, I would say that between the Sceptile, the Infernape, and the Empoleon, going off of what we went over, I can't recall a time, except maybe Oshawott will have the anime point.
Maybe
I could be wrong.
Like compared to Dawn's Piplup, like no, Oshawott was fun, and he had some cool moments, but no, I'm gonna tell you that right now. The only one who maybe gets an actually, I don't think any of them get the anime point. The anime itself was good, but the starter moments in the anime, fuck no.
In that case, why don't we just skip that category and just give that all to the
Yeah,
the current?
yeah. I'm cool with that. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, because this is gonna be just us slandering the shit out of them.
I literally just realized that fucking. Wait, Grovile is still on the throne, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he's still there.
Yeah. I forgot. Yep. Sorry, I was looking down my list and I actually wrote in the grass area like I was like one of my time stamps.
Yeah,
Regardless,
no worries.
So
And
Snivy versus Sceptile.
like,
Okay, so let's just start this off. Anime goes to Sceptile, hands down, easy. That's an easy point. Moveset and typing.
they're the same type outside if you include Mega Evolution. However, okay, I'm gonna have to go into competitive here because it is very close. Their movesets are
No. We talk
very
about
similar.
we talk about movesets entirely, casual and competitive, and
It's
they're
a tie.
typing. So it's typing,
It's an
typing
honest to God tie.
typing and movesets a tie. All right.
The the only reason why I'm saying that it should have some relevance with the competitive in this scene is because
All right.
Superior
Looks.
Satile, not even close. I'll be real with you.
I'm gonna have to be honest with you too. Yeah, I know we were just early in the episode we talked about how bullshit they lose, but literally they lose their legs. Why no Pokemon should evolve and lose limbs? Like that makes no fucking sense. It's weird. Every single evolution in Pokemon, like it's either a mobility boost or like a limb boost. Like fucking, Dragonite, not Dragonite, yeah, Dragonair. Wait, what's the first one called?
Dratini.
Dratini, thank you. Dratini evolves into Dragonair. It becomes a longer snake. Guess what? Dragonair evolves into Dragonite. Guess what? It has arms now and legs.
Like, going off of a very subjective point and going off of the general consensus is that
Like a Pokemon's look should not degrade as it evolves. Like okay, there's another problem because this is in the same fucking region. Oshawott, he becomes quadruped instead of bipedal. Like,
I mean,
how fucking weird is that?
to be fair though, a lot of people would much prefer a bipedal to a quadrupedal than the other way around. And I'm in that same boat. I would like if they had to go from one to the other, I would prefer that.
You prefer they stand than like.
Oh no, I prefer them as quadrupeds.
Oh, you said it wrong.
My bad.
You said it reversed. You said you'd prefer them to stand biped instead of quad.
I would rather them, if they had to go from either going from bipedal to quadrupedal or reverse, I would rather end up on all fours than remain on two legs.
I will say Oshawott makes sense because of his head thing now. He needs more support for it. But regardless, let's stick to Snivy here. Do we just want to say that Sceptile takes it and not go through the rest of this? Because like,
the only category
you're right. We have to talk about casual and competitive.
The only category or the only thing that Superior does better than Sceptile is thanks to its contrary ability, where it can use Leaf Storm, arguably one of the best grass type moves, and rather than getting a drawback, it gets a boost. That is the one thing Superior has on Sceptile. But even
It's
then,
called Superior?
yeah, that's the final evolution's name is Superior.
Superior.
Superior. Serpent Superior. Yeah, it's kind of got the... Okay, the thing is, I know
That
I
really
gave
tells
praise...
you how much I know about this starter, because I've been calling it Snivy all these fucking years.
Yeah, don't get me wrong, like, so, Empoleon, I know I just gave props to Empoleon for this, but Superior does it in a dickish manner. I'll be real. At least Empoleon seems like he's willing to be humbled if you can show him up. Superior seems like the type where after an ass whooping, he'll still come up with an excuse why he lost, rather than just accept he lost.
Yeah, Incineroar Bro, this is not.
Like, yeah, Superior just seems like an asshole. I'll be real. Um, Altogether, yeah, I have to go to Sceptile. It had one category on a subjective sense, and it had a better ability, so it could use a singular move better. That's it. Everything else, Sceptile, it outshines it.
That's nuts.
I mean, for Christ, I don't even have to pull up the Mega for that, for crying out loud.
Yeah. All right, Sceptile still kicking strong.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, when we said we were going to do this episode, I knew, like, okay, when we get to Sceptile, it's then going to be Sceptile versus the rest, pretty much.
Yeah, like Torterra, and there's one more that I'm willing to fight back and forth with, but
I feel like you're going to fight for Rowlet, but we'll keep going.
So,
all right.
The Tepig line.
Tepig versus Chimchar. Okay, anime goes to Chimchar, no doubt. Ash's Chimchar had a fucking character arc. Not many Pokemon get character arcs or meaningful ones. Like,
exactly.
Ash's Chimchar story was tragic. Like, I remember, I forget which Mon of Dawn's Ash's Chimchar was fighting against, but after Ash's Chimchar loses, and it literally starts crying because it expects abuse because Paul literally abused his Chimchar. Like, it's really sweet when Chimchar realizes he's finally amongst friends. You know what I mean? That's a very, very sweet moment in the anime where Ash is shown like why he's becoming such a prolific Pokemon trainer, why he's in all these instances, because he's not just a good trainer, but he can help a Pokemon that's, okay, I say abused. I don't want to ham it up too much. I will say neglected.
Neglected's a better way to put it.
Because Paul never smacked his Chimchar. I would say
no, he just abandoned him.
Yeah. He abandoned him. I shouldn't say abused, but like Ash can take a neglected Pokemon and turn it into a real champion.
There's no competition with the anime.
I mean, Tepig is just a worse Chimchar. Tepig literally had the same fucking thing happen to him, but worse. Like, literally, they find the dude and they beat his ass. Like that's not the same as Paul. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no. Paul was humiliated by the Infernape.
Exactly.
This guy, it was a fight that no one gave a shit about. They had no proper saying. There was nothing to lose if he lost.
Literally, the only reason Ash fought this dude was because he had an axe to grind. Because the anime always makes a point of showing off people who either neglected or abandoned their Pokemon as dickweeds.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Paul was different. Paul will always be different. Gary may have been an asshole. And the other fucking... and here's the thing. May was part of the group. So there was no rival in Hoenn. But Paul was a motherfucker, scumfuck bastard. We all hate Paul. But we understand
hell, Gary had an
Umbreon.
From. He at least had to be good to his Pokemon. Exactly. If he has an Umbreon, he had to be friends with it. So
exactly.
Yeah,
which is kind of like the weird part about Team Plasma, because the leader of Team Plasma has a Golbat. I'm sorry, a Crobat.
I mean, to be fair, they're mostly assholes to people, not to Pokemon. Well, some of them were. The lower grunts were.
You say that. Magikarp or Pokemon.
I was actually thinking more for Musharna in the game. Like, don't get me wrong. Team Plasma. Team Plasma's weird because.
I'm sorry. I don't know what killed me. Magikarp or Pokemon.
the weird thing about Team Plasma is the higher up the ranking you got, the more they were like Team Plasma was weird in a sense that as you got higher up with the ranking of them, they treated their Pokemon better. The lower rank, the grunts, were dicks to Pokemon. Like that's how their ladder worked, essentially. The higher up ranking, the more they respected Pokemon. The lower ranking would just abuse them. So, yeah, like, and I'll be real with you, like, you there, fam? Oh boy, did I go deaf? Yo, you there? There you are.
Sorry, I muted myself. I've been laughing. I'm fucking dying. I'm fucking crying over here. I don't know
Oh my
why
God.
I thought that was so funny.
Shit, where was I going with this?
Yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
weren't ready for that one, were you? Don't worry, I have the timestamp in to fucking cut that part. Don't worry.
good call. But anyway, so
I mean,
along with
it would have been good if you laughed at it, but you didn't. So now I can't fucking post it. I can post me freaking out about it, but I can't post me talking about the fucking mental image of it.
yeah,
That sucks.
Anyway.
That was a good one though, but I think people will understand it.
yeah, but as I was saying,
so I'm done dying. Sorry about that, everyone. We're back.
yeah,
Okay, so where were we? Oh yeah,
anime goes Infernape.
Yeah,
Like,
Infernape.
no competition there.
What about competitive and movesets like
Not even close.
Infernape?
Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
I've never seen Emborn competitive. Fucking. Do we just
There's
want to
a reason.
award this to Infernape? Is there any? Just tell me now. Is there any redeeming faculties for Embor besides
He's a
looks,
better
of course,
shiny.
because-
that's it. He just has a better shiny version, and even that is very subjective.
Embor does have some top tier looks though. I will give looks to Embor. He does look sick.
You are in the minority of that.
Seriously?
Like, yeah, no, understand, homie. Like, Gen 5 is universally disliked on their looks and a lot of shit about them. Like,
Gen
it
5 had
does.
like the best music though.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. Like, it had.
Like Gen 5, like Gen 5 was a good game. Like
Believe me, I will say real quick, Gen 5 is beloved right now. It's just the starters are not. No
Okay,
one.
that's
cares
where
for the starters.
that's where you're coming from. I thought you meant like Gen 5 in general. I was
Oh,
like,
no,
what the fuck?
Upon release, Gen 5 was not very well received, but it's kind of like it grew on people, and now people love it. But the starters, I have yet to have met anyone that said anything about the Gen 5 starters being their favorite mons.
Bianca was the rival in Gen 5, right?
Well, in the games it was both Bianca and Sharon, so I think
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
Bianca
But
was fun. I always liked running into her when I finally got around to playing Gen 5.
I got sick and tired of doing a rival fight after every single route.
Dude, I love that little tune. It was so fun, and my favorite thing about Bianca was every time she appeared and she went to go get her Pokemon, it was always lost in her purse. So she's
Yeah.
struggling to pull it out. I was always so excited because I thought Bianca was super fun and super cute.
Yeah, I'll
Not
be real
cute
with
in
you.
that sense, you fucking freaks.
Like, understand this. I think there was like 8 rival fights in Gen 1. There's 19 in Gen 5. There's literally 1 to 2 almost after every
I remember
singular
you
route.
complaining that there weren't enough rival fights in Hoenn one night.
Because there's like 4. But 19 is excessive, my brother.
But May goes hard. Let's not forget that. May goes hard, and she's a roadblock sometimes.
The second one, yes. The second encounter, absolutely.
Yeah,
After that, she's kind of a shitstorm.
May 2 is unbelievably rough for no reason.
Yeah, it's because she actually has decent type spread by that point. Otherwise, she wouldn't be too complicated.
I remember the first time I got to May 2, and I was like, oh, this is just May from the anime. It's not gonna be that hard. She fucking floors me, and I'm like, what?
Funnily enough, I've actually never lost that May fight. That's one of the few fights that people say like they had a hard time with. That I've never had a hard time.
To be fair, it was my like first actual Pokemon game since Yellow version. So,
Oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. I understand it's a rough battle. It's just one of those that I've just personally never struggled
Plus
with.
it didn't help that I was still rocking a lot of the Route 1 mons because I don't know.
I mean, you can't sleep on Zigzagoon to Linu, dude. He can seriously solo the Elite Four by himself at the earliest
Well,
level compared to every other
the
mon.
reason I wanted Lanoon is because I just always liked how it looked.
Oh, same. I love Linoon, and Linoon, you like I said, you just can't sleep on him. Linoon hits way too
I
hard.
never fully realized the Swalot supremacy that is Swalot until one time when, I don't know what the fuck happened. Just one day I'm like, I'll grab a Gulpin. And they're kind of cool. I don't know, it looks kind of weird. And then he evolved, and I'm like, oh shit, Swalot looks cool. And then I realized that poison tanks are literally. We did it again. We got off topic.
Anyway,
we're talking about Gen 5, and it's like, do any of them have any redeeming qualities? Let's just speed fire this round, because it's really not a fight here. Like, I mean,
Oshawott has some for the anime, but outside of that, Empoleon's literally just a better version of it. It has one signature move.
So we're none of all the Gen 5 losers.
Yep. As God intended.
Okay. Good game, bad starters.
Yep. Exactly.
I still think Tepig is cool though. But that's my personal opinion. All right. You want to do the honors? You want to say about Chespin?
There is not a single redeeming quality about that goddamn mon. I don't know how they managed to do it.
You have to be objective here though, because I never.
Believe me,
Chespin,
this is me being.
So you have to help me here.
Oh, don't worry.
Like, competitive play, their movesets. You have to like help me out here and be objective.
Oh, don't worry. I'll help you out.
Compared to Sceptile.
Comparing to Sceptile, competitive, Sceptile wins. Movesets, just because it's fighting type, it has access to more shit, so it does win the moveset category. However, it falls short in everything else.
I don't know.
Anime.
Chespin's final evolve form looks pretty good.
Again, you're in the minority on that.
I'm not.
Hello?
You gotta like give them something. You can't just fully, because there are some definite Chespin stands out there that are gonna come for us over this.
There are some Chespin stands. For Chespin, you get to the other two. That is not the case.
God, his second evolve form looks so freakish too.
Oh yeah, Quilladin. I don't know a single person that likes Quilladin. Not even like as their favorite, just even like a neutral feeling. I don't know anyone who is neutral to Quilladin.
Sceptile. Let's just give Sceptile. Keep Sceptile on the throne. I just wanted to give him a fair shake, but as I'm looking at it and thinking about it, I'm like, oh my god, there's literally nothing.
It excels at nothing, even in like casual plays.
The one thing Chespin has going for it, I think it was in. You know what? I'm not even gonna bring that up. No. All right, so
the Finnegan line.
Okay, so Finnegan is for someone else, I think.
Oh, well,
but that's opinions. You gotta help me here with the competitive. I can help with the anime because I did eventually get around to it, like I said, but
okay,
like this is gonna rely on you almost, because I can still say Infernape has like still the better anime here. No shit.
Yeah, it has the better anime.
Like Infernape is gonna be hard to beat when it comes to the anime because there's just nothing there. It's gonna be down to Infernape versus Score Bunny, believe it or not.
I would actually argue Torracat has somewhat of a chance, but that's somewhat.
Who?
Torracat into Incineroar, and it's all because of the ending. But regardless, so with Finnegan,
that's one moment versus an entire series.
Yeah. So in this regard, in terms of competitive, they're kind of equal. The only thing that I would give to Infernape is because of his fighting type, he can actually like. How would I best describe this? Basically, the two of them have advantages just by nature of being fire types against steel types. However, it is really tough. Altogether, I think I would still give it to Infernape, purely due to the fact that
Let's do the showdown thing again. All right, you're building a competitive team, randomized. Your next choice, Infernape or what's it called?
Delphox.
Delphox. Sorry, I couldn't think about. I couldn't remember its name. So Delphox and Infernape. You can build them however you want. Which one are you taking?
I would personally take the Infernape.
And you're the competitive, like, professional player. So your word means something. It's not just like a personal opinion here. It's like, you've been through the tourneys. You know what the fuck's up.
I would, if I had to pick between them, I would go with the Infernape, just by nature of, well, it has more offensive options being part fighting type, and don't get me wrong, the Psychic type is also a phenomenal offensive typing. The problem is that you then have to sacrifice using better Psychic types, not to mention Infernape outspeeds and has a higher DPS output than Delphox on average.
Yeah.
Like, Delphox has hard-hitting special attacking moves, which is great, but that's it.
Now then,
outside of
casual
that,
play. I'm sorry, did you have more to say?
Not really.
Okay, so casual play. Which one's all around a better run through their region?
Shit. That's where it gets hard. Because I've never used Fennekin
I
in Gen
have.
6. What was your experience like? Like, how well did Fennekin fare? I can see it doing well in the early gyms. How did it do in the
Honestly,
later gym?
It was okay. Like, it was all right. Like, there wasn't really a point where I was really roughed up or like given the runaround. Hang on. Sorry about that.
No,
There
you're
wasn't
good,
really a part where I was given the runaround or roughed up too hard. Like, but here's the thing though. I feel like Sinnoh and Kalos?
Kalos is Gen 6.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Yeah, Unova was Gen 5.
Yep.
I feel it's so, like, Sinnoh and Kalos are two very different, like, Pokemon regions. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I mean, hell, the champions. I don't know about you, but I beat Diancie on my, well, it was meant to be just to be a trial run to see how far I make it. I beat her on my first try by accident. Cynthia required me to go back and train.
I think that happened to everyone. Unless you're doing this on Shining Pearl and Brilliant Diamond, in which case my fucking friendship, like I said, took 3 fucking hits from the Garchomp, which shouldn't happen. But regardless.
I would argue that
like Delphox, like it was all right. I mean, it was a Pokemon adventure. My first time through though, I picked because I always do this in Pokemon games. I always do my first run. I don't really catch any Pokemon. I don't do anything. I just try out a starter I don't want. Then my second run through is when, like, I know where everything is. I know what to do. I then go back, restart the file, and take the starter I want. My first run through was with Delphox because I wanted the frog.
yeah.
Because I thought Frog Ninja was like a fucking brilliant masterstroke in design. But that first run through was all right. Delphox wasn't thrown around, and I didn't get the run around. It was all right, doable. Infernape, on the other hand, when it comes to casual play, fucking mock punch to that fucking ugly cat's goddamn face. Second time around, eat my shit, Mars. Was it Mars? It was Mars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, I personally, I think Infernape would do better on a casual run just because his physical and special attack are the same. So you can do a mixed runner, whereas with Delphox, if you run it in a casual sense, yes, with 69 attack, nice. You could have physical attacks on there,
My
but
man with the scouter on, as usual. That's why we have you, Red.
thank you. But like in general, Infernape is able to do, if you throw a Blissey in front of a Delphox in a casual gameplay, she's not going to do shit.
No.
She will not get through that Blissey. Infernape will delete her. And you can't wall off Infernape, which is a physical or a special Mon. If you throw a specially defensive Mon, Delphox ain't doing anything. So in terms of casual, I'm willing to bet that Infernape will have an easier time, but also by nature that Gen 4 was a lot harder.
Let's not forget that moveset wise, like, Infernape's still packing. Like, let's not forget that, Primeape, second
Uh,
form, what's it called?
Monferno.
Monferno. God, fucking, I don't know why I went for Prime. No, Primeape is fuck. I'm dumb.
Gen 1.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why the fuck. They're both monkeys, so, but
Yeah.
like, sorry. I just realized the gag with Mankey's name. He's a monkey and he's angry. Mankey.
Yeah.
Fucking
Angry monkey.
I'm 25 years old, Red.
Oh my god.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
So,
Okay. Anyways. Okay, so Monfernape's Mach Punch early is super big when it comes to moveset point. So I have to say
especially
that
since
like anime and moveset go to like Infernape, which is
not
like,
to
it's
mention
already 2 points.
not to mention with Infernape, like you can also boost either his physical or his special and run him
Precisely.
either way, and you're not sacrificing anything.
Now
The
then,
Delphox will suck one way.
this is rough. We gotta go looks, Red.
Yeah, no competition. Infernape wins this. Like
No, we have to be objective.
objectively, Delphox was
No,
disliked.
Red, we have to be objective about this. Delphox has something for someone, and it does.
You're right for someone. However, the general consensus was that Delphox was disliked in terms of looks. Like people were very disappointed in the evolutionary line of Finnegan.
You know what's funny?
Hmm.
When I asked someone what's the deal with what's the grass cat?
Grass cat?
Grass cat.
Oh, Sprigatito.
Sprigatito. When people like said Sprigatito better stay a quadruped through the entire line, and I'm like, why? The first thing they said was Delphox, and I understood in that moment. I understood.
Exactly. Like Finnegan, I felt like if they had kept it a quadruped and went more with like kept on just for Christ's sake, if they just made it fluffier, I would have been okay with that and bigger. But like I said, there's people were disappointed with Braixen and Delphox when they realized that. Like there's so many people I knew of that were like so excited when they saw Finnegan.
It evolves and stands up.
And a lot of people like don't get me wrong, people love witches these days. But this was a bit of a
Oh,
forte.
Delphox is supposed to be a witch.
Yes.
Oh, I feel dumb. I thought she was supposed to be one of those like shrine girls.
Yeah, no, she was supposed to be a witch.
From,
And so I,
like from Johto? You know what I mean? Or from Japan, I should say.
yeah, like don't get me wrong.
I always thought because the God, because she doesn't have the pointy hat. Oh, I'm dumb.
It's mostly based around Braixen because she has her stick and her tail almost like in a cauldron.
That makes no fucking sense. I can see why people hate Delphox. Anyways, Infernape.
Yeah.
Do we even need to go anything more in this? Like, yes,
No, not
yes.
really.
Delphox was in the anime. It belonged to Ash's girlfriend. Yes, that's what I'm calling her now.
I mean, the two had there's more of a flame between them than any other female companion that Ash had. So
The only reason I said it like that is because I know it's a point of contention, and I know people are gonna be ripping each other's heads off about that.
yeah. But regardless,
you want to know how I knew it was a big deal? People I knew in real life who didn't play Pokemon were talking about it.
well, yeah, it's the first time we see Ash kiss something that wasn't a damn Pokemon.
Yeah, like that's how I knew it was a big deal. People who I knew didn't give a shit about Pokemon were talking about it.
Yeah, it's a big thing, man. We can all claim that like we had no affiliation with Pokemon growing up, but no matter who you were, you know Pokemon.
Also, my dad said, "Didn't he and Misty get together?" And I was like, "Wow, even my dad has an opinion on this."
Yep. And they kind of shut that shit down. And to be fair, though, I think Serena was the best female companion considering she actually took care of Ash whenever he was down.
Serena's still getting pushed as Ash's flame, believe it or not. Like in the
She should.
In the Alola anime, like I think Serena comes to like visit, and like I think 2 people actually say this is Ash's girlfriend. Like
Yeah.
like no shit. Like they're still pushing it, and I'm happy they are because like
They actually had a good relationship.
yeah, it was nice. Personally, I liked it when their hair was longer, but that's just me. I like girls with longer hair. I just think I don't know. It's I'm weird. Personal
Anyhow,
preference.
yeah. So yeah, Infernape maintains the crown on this one. Like,
I mean, also like just in general, like I grew up with the United Nation program. There's sort of a stigma about cutting hair, but you know what I mean.
yeah,
Yeah, so
but,
that's just me talking. But regardless,
yeah. So Infernape continues on with the crown. Now
yep.
for the heart. Now for the Froakie line. Oh, sweet Jesus.
This is going to come down to because there wasn't really too much of Froakie in the anime. There really
What?
wasn't.
No, what? Ash Greninja? Are you ignoring Ash Greninja?
Well, yeah, he had a Greninja, but name some stuff it did.
It squared up with other megas. It literally is the protector of Zygarde right now. Zygarde chose it to protect him.
Yeah, but
And not to mention,
like
if you
here's my problem though. Yes, it's a cool moment, but where's the charisma?
moments, my brother.
Look, Froakie is a cool line, yes, but let's not get
It,
hung up on this anime's one point.
I know, but I will say, Froakie is one of the other Mons that also had a fair amount of development going through the anime. I mean, him and Ash were in sync for crying out loud. Like, there's no competition between Dawn's Piplup and Ash's Greninja. There's no competition. I love Dawn's Piplup, but this Greninja used actual strategy, and him and Ash were shadow
Oh,
fighting
I'm
with one
fucking
another.
looking at the wrong goddamn Pokemon.
What?
I was fucking looking at the Primarina. Until I
Oh.
realized, wait a minute, that's
Okay, I was about to say, I know damn well.
I was
Like,
I don't know how the fuck that happened. Hang
was
on,
about to say.
let me move my picture.
Okay,
I think I pressed right too many times on my directional buttons, and it just fucking skipped. It skipped Froakie altogether.
was about to say, dude.
I was about to say, what the fuck is he talking about? Do I have to tell him that none of that happened in Alola? And then I was like, wait a second.
We're not in Alola right now.
We're still in Kalos. That's literally what just happened. Okay, so yeah, I will say, yes, Froakie had some cool moments. Yes, Froakie's a bit of a Chad. We have the same thing as Grovyle here.
Like,
It's the same. It's literally the same thing. Grovyle,
Yeah,
Grovyle has like the hero rating right now. That's why he's still here. You know what I mean? Grovyle is a fucking hero in the anime.
yeah, I would argue that.
I would say that because of that logic. You know what I mean? Here's the thing why I make the argument for Piplup though. Piplup is brimming with charisma. She is adorable. She's cute. She's full of personality. She has a lot. But does that just square up against Hero perfectly is the real question we have to ask here.
I would also argue.
What's better, Hero or charisma? You know what I mean?
Personally, I would go more for the hero, considering Pokemon is a lot more devoted towards like actual fighting. Even in the contest, they're mostly fighting the air to make it look good. But here's something about Greninja. Greninja cares about Ash to the point where when Ash had a fan that wanted to fight him and he was too sick to be able to move, Serena put on his jacket and his hat and pretended to be him, and Greninja knew what was going on. So he listened to Serena to keep Ash's.
That was such a good episode. God damn. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Greninja
I just
literally
damn
listened.
it. Fuck. You're right. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay. So anime point goes to.
Like, if I were to be completely
It's
honest,
kind of funny because like the starter line has like the water starter has had the most arguments. You know what I mean? Like grass is like had 0. And once we've gotten to Infernape, there's been like no arguments either.
yeah, but it's also because we did argue for like 3 generations on fire. We've only had one actual argument for grass, and then for water, it has been Blastoise versus
pretty much
all of them.
every single like mon has had an argument against Blastoise, and now like
It's against Empoleon.
in the but considering that like literally arguably one of the most like loyal mons ever, period, until we get to Ash's Lucario. Which
Like
I think if Ash's Lucario was on this list would steal the fucking show because goddamn he's great. But you know what I mean? But yeah, I would have to say that Froakie gets the anime. Now then, moveset. Which one's more competitively viable? Or just
Greninja.
Which one just has the better moveset and typing altogether?
Greninja.
I will say Greninja was my second playthrough. I love Greninja. He's cool. I do enjoy Greninja.
Yeah, in terms of moveset,
I just kind of wish you could have him have his tongue out or have his tongue not out, because that was one thing that annoyed me. Was I didn't like the fact that his tongue was out 24/7. I thought it was kind of weird.
I mean, it's supposed to be a scarf.
I get that's supposed to be a scarf, but like, it's just it'd be cool if like when he threw him out of the Pokeball, he then sticks his tongue out. But the fact it's out 24/7 just like makes the biologist in my head go, there has to be so many fucking evolutionary like adaptations for him not to get sick and instantly die if his tongue's out 24/7.
I mean,
to be fair, he's a frog, so his skin's covered in mucus. So maybe he has a mucus covered tongue that like it can like it dissipates when he pulls into his mouth. But he would get so many diseases if he was a real animal. But he's not a real animal, so I gotta fucking put away my baby bitch like biologist and like ecologist glasses and do a Pokemon thing.
Yeah. So like, yeah, in terms of typing, the typing itself would still go to Empoleon.
It's still a tragedy that fucking he's not a water fighting.
Okay, well, okay. Here's where it gets difficult with Greninja. All right, because he has the protein ability, and that does matter with typing because his type will change to whatever move he uses.
I still say that. Greninja, like, it makes no sense for Greninja not to be water fighting. It would have been the perfect time to put it into.
A ninja being a dark type, I think that's...
It makes sense, but still. We have not had a water fighting, and they fucking threw all of us through a goddamn loop with that one Pokemon.
Poliwrath?
No, the octopus one.
Oh, well, Poliwrath is water fighting.
Shield.
But yeah, no, don't get me wrong.
That one I'm talking about, right? The one that was in, Grapple-Lot, and we all thought it was water fighting, and everyone realized no, it's just mono water.
Actually, it's mono fighting.
Oh yeah, it switches. That's his whole gag. Regardless, I will say, out of all, like, we say that the starters are universally hated. You know what I mean? For like the last 2 generations, but I still say that Froakie is the exception here.
Absolutely the exception, and actually. Okay, Gen 8 starters were actually like Gen 7 starters. The Alola region was actually for the most part liked, outside of one. Gen 6, most of them were disliked except for Greninja, and that's kind of the reason why he got so much fanfare from Gen 6.
I think, but we have to give every category. So let's see here: competitive and casual. I will say this. It might just be because it was my second true playthrough, but I had fun with Greninja. A lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. Like, Greninja hasn't... It gets awkward
also,
because...
that protein ability is pretty fucking sick, yeah.
Like, altogether, Greninja is with competitive right off the bat, Greninja stomps the ever-loving piss out of Empoleon.
2 hours into this fucking list.
Yeah. Greninja stomps the shit out of Empoleon when comparing them to competitive. Like, at one point, there was argument to make Greninja go from OU to Ubers. Because he was that good.
Yeah.
In terms of casual, I would give that to him.
I think we're ready to... You said you're going to give casual to Greninja?
Yeah, I'd give it to Greninja.
Okay, we've pretty much almost given every... Yeah. Well, like, looks, we have to do looks still. Which I think... Empoleon still has, honestly. Look, Greninja's design is clever, but Empoleon still looks like a bad motherfucker, and you know it.
You see, I like the regal like aesthetic of Empoleon.
Hey,
but
no opinions. Objective.
Then Greninja would win that category. because he's more
Greninja's just a weird
like
looking frog with a tongue around his neck. Empoleon looks like a king.
like
Why the
if we're
fuck
going
do we make why do we fuck do we make the most objective shit a category? It makes no goddamn sense.
like well the subjective in terms of
why did we make something that's so subjective a category? Is what I'm saying. It just fucking
the best way to
makes
go
no
off of
sense in
that.
hindsight. We shouldn't have had like fucking moveset and typing be a fucking one category and have looks be type.
Well, it makes us a good like tiebreaker, but not to mention we could always go off of the general consensus of them, like how people in general view about them, because I think that's a decent
lot
way.
of people like Empoleon. A lot of the people from Gen, what you have to understand is like Empoleon is very popular. Empoleon is very popular.
I don't know where you find yourself. It's
I don't
actually...
know where you find your stuff either, but like, you know, it depends on what circles you run in, I guess. You know what I mean?
The circles I go off of is the universe. Like, understand, Greninja was literally the
You
most...
can't just say universal like you've interviewed everyone.
You're right. Instead, I'm going off of the literal poll that millions of people had put it to, and Greninja won the poll of all the Pokemon. All of them.
Show me this poll.
All right, bet.
Show me them receipts.
So here, I think it was 2020? So here, vote results. Pokemon of the year. Umbreon number 5, Charizard number 4, Mimikyu number 3.
Post it. Post it. Don't just
I
say
have
it.
to. I know, and I'm getting to it. Okay, cool. Here's the link. 2020.
Okay. Shit. Fuck. Damn it.
There's my receipt. Feel free to check it.
All right, let's see your receipt.
Oh my god, that wasn't even close.
Oh my god, it's a fucking interactive bullshit.
Yes, that. What do you think? I was like, I'm working on it.
Lucario? Wait, Lucario was number 2.
Oh yeah. Sure enough, Greninja was voted
Hang on.
the
I'm
most
fucking
popular.
curious. Oh, of course, Umbreon and Sylveon were fucking Garchomp. Rayquaza's number 8?
Yep.
Gardevoir, Gengar. Dragapult's number 11?
I mean, to be fair, Dragapult's a very unique pseudo.
What? Bulbasaur is number 13, and Toxtricity is 14? I refuse to believe I live in a timeline where Toxtricity is above Lugia. That's some
What?
bullshit.
Toxtricity's awesome. He's such a unique... First off, he's so unique in not only his typing, he's the only poison electric type.
Bruh, Pokemon 2000. You've lost.
Clearly, you're not in agreement with most of the people that voted on this. I love how Snom's ranked 30. Just Snom.
Wait. It's ranked 30. Why? Why? Okay, Blaziken and Sceptile. Okay, Blaziken and Sceptile obviously still fucking... We're right on the Sceptile because the world agrees he's number 28.
Yeah, like...
Oh, shit. Delucidai is number... Shit.
Even in 2021, Greninja has still outpaced Empoleon by leagues and bounds. Like, this is how you could...
Greninja. I still
bro,
can't believe the world voted that he was the Pokemon of the year. That's nuts to me. And oh, never mind. Fucking Charizard's number 4. God damn it. I just realized. I was like, I'm happy there's Charizard's not on this list, and then I see Charizard's at number 4. Of course he is.
Yeah, like...
Very, very happy out of everything I saw. This list is kind of bullshit, but I'm very happy that people have some sense about them and actually voted Umbreon number 5 over Sylveon.
Yeah, no, like I said,
I'm glad people have some sense about them, and you know there's only one reason Gardevoir is over 9.
Well,
it's not like let's be fair. Like Gardevoir like creepy as fuck. Why the fuck is Squirtle not even on this like list? It bothers me that Bulbasaur is like way above, like it makes no fucking sense.
It's because he's cute. Like, he's simple and he's cute, and not to mention, let's be real, Ash's Bulbasaur was like a mentor to all of Ash's Pokemon. Like, that's the funny thing,
God,
is that Ash's Bulbasaur in the anime really does train them.
Okay, so you have your receipts. Fine.
Yep.
I still say we really shouldn't have made looks a fucking category. We should not have agreed on that.
Well, at least we have a semi-subject or objective way going off of how people voted, and this is actually a large sample size of people.
Yeah.
So Greninja
All
dethrones
right.
the fuck out of
Moving on.
Empoleon.
Okay. So Alola.
Oh,
Do we just want to say that? Okay, I'll just ask you one question.
Mm-hmm.
Primarina, competitive. Just get it out of the way because that's pretty much how this is gonna turn. Because you know what I mean.
Not even close.
Okay.
Yeah, no, Greninja keeps the title here. Not even close.
Okay. Anime wise, there's like next to nothing. There's some,
Exactly.
There's nothing. There's next to nothing. Even I, who've watched most of the anime, I'm still there's still some spots I'm blanked on. I haven't watched all of Alola, but I've watched most of it. Rotom gets more play than fucking. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like
All right.
the fucking
Now
cell
then,
phone
for
was more
for the
impactful.
real fight, for the real fight.
Yep, this one I'm gonna go to war for.
versus Infernape. Now,
Oh,
personally,
this one's gonna hurt.
I still say the anime points goes to Chimchar.
Yes, Torracat
and ending versus an entire series is very heavy. I still say that, you know, hands down, easy. Chimchar still has it.
Yeah, I don't really see any starter overtaking Infernape just because of that arc and that final fight. Like, don't get me wrong, Torracat and Incineroar have one hell of a run, but the anime still goes to Infernape. Like,
Exactly.
I genuinely like the only other two Pokemon outside of Pikachu that argue.
I remember being. I still need to interrupt you, but I remember being in the Dells, and we were in the hotel room after we had just gotten back from swimming, and Pokemon was on, and I remember my cousin saying what I thought was the funniest shit at the time, because Chimchar was going nuts in one of the gyms, and my cousin just said, "Who the hell did they get to voice Chimchar? He must be nuts," and I just couldn't handle it, and I thought it was the funniest thing ever, because really Chimchar does go nuts, and he goes crazy. It's like, who the fuck?
He goes ape shit. In a very literal sense, he goes ape shit.
Right, you can't. My stomach still hurts from Magikarp Pokemon 2. Okay, so that's that. That's not that. Now then, anime point. So 1 point to Chimchar.
Yep.
Now then, moveset and typing.
Oh fuck!
This is gonna be on you, man, because like I said,
it's so hard because offensively, Chimchar stabs are great. However, Incineroar excels as both a support bond also as a wall breaker because he has one move that at the time was signature to him, but now I don't even think Infernape can. We don't know if Infernape can learn it or not since he's not in the current game. Darkest Lariat.
I was about to say Darkest Lariat. It definitely is going to be that.
Like
which is probably going to be Rillaboom's fucking hill to die on because he can also learn that move.
A lot of mons can learn it nowadays, but Darkest Lariat.
You're mad about that. Talk about why you're mad about that.
I'm not necessarily mad about it. There's some mons I think shouldn't learn it.
You've cooled down about that.
Don't get me wrong.
I remember before we started recording these, one night you literally ranted for about half an hour about why certain moms should not learn Darkest Lariat.
It's because there's also
you ranted.
It's partially due to the fact that that was supposed to be Incineroar's main move. However, I also see that it's good to spread it because it's a fantastic wall breaking move. It ignores stat changes. That's huge. So you can't just set up in front of him. He will beat your ass. And Incineroar is incredibly hard to compare to Infernape in terms of an offensive sense. I would say they're pretty equal. One is straight up meant to be a wall buster. The other can go support or wall buster. So it is so these ones. Yeah, I'll be real with you, bro. It is so fucking hard for me to be able to compare the two purely off of moveset.
So which one gets the point then?
Let's keep this as a tie for the time being while I'm pulling up a quick comparison of the two.
So we have tie. And 1 point to Chimchar still.
Yep.
Now on to looks. Okay. Fuck. Sun Wukong versus a
a
luchador.
wrestler.
A luchador, to be specific. Because the way Incineroar fights is much more like a luchador than it is a wrestler.
Like,
And I love luchadors, like, with a burning passion. I think just luchadors are way better than, like, modern wrestlers because just they have this way about them. They know it's a show, and they know how to perform it, like, 10 times better. The Rock might have stuff cooking, but the luchadors, like, they're doing that while doing a backflip off of the ropes. It's nuts. So,
yeah.
but here's the problem. I also like Sun Wukong.
The problem here is that, okay, from a purely, like, going off of, at least from what I've encountered, people were not happy that Incineroar stood up from Torracat and Litten. They were very upset by that.
Incineroar got into Smash.
Yeah, granted, that's not necessarily looks like
That's the. Oh, isn't it?
that's in different media.
I'm pretty sure if it was competitively viable, like, you know, like Rowlet would have been the one to make it, and no one cares about Rowlet's look. But regardless,
Like,
I still say that, you know, like there's a match here. There's definitely a fight over looks. I don't.
there
Why the
is.
fuck are we even still talking about looks, dude? It's so objective. Like this is
That's
just,
why I'm going. That's why I'm bringing up that, going off of, at least from my own personal interactions with people, and going off of what I remember, people were very upset that Incineroar stands up and is now bipedal
yeah, but
compared to people not.
let's not forget that people have also softened to that recently, and people actually super like Incineroar.
Softened. Well, it's mostly because Incineroar has been, one, in Smash, and two, like, we've had time to have Incineroar grow onto us.
Yes, that's the thing. Modern viewpoint. You can't look at just when it first came out. You know what I mean? I gave you ground on a couple of mons because of how they first came out, but I'm putting my foot down here. Like, you know, we have to look at it how it is now. Yes, the initial release made a lot of people pissy and mad, but as of right now, a lot of people like Incineroar. Me personally, like, you know, which I shouldn't be saying because this is supposed to be objective, not subjective. Like, you know, I just prefer the look of Infernape. I'm sorry, I prefer the look of Incineroar. But I know for a fact that a lot more people like Wukong than they do like Luchadors. But I know also for a fact that a lot of people are slowly turning to Incineroar.
Yeah, it's. I don't know, because
I just think we fucked up and we shouldn't have made looks a category, period. Like, we should
well, that's what I was
not
thinking.
have-
We should make it more as a tiebreaker than an actual, like, category.
Even then, because we both have differing opinions. Like, this was just a bad decision on our part. We'll know this for next time we do a list like this.
Yeah, I think it makes us a better tiebreaker.
Okay, so I'm just gonna remove looks off the list, just period.
Now, for because, like, movesets,
Casual competitive is what we're fighting on now.
that is tough. I would going off of from my experience.
Casual technically goes to Incineroar because Alola just is a easier region altogether.
It is, and at the same, like, okay, so
Like,
the thing that I'm going with this is that the difference between the two of them here is that Infernape, across on average, comparing his region and type matchups, has better matchups. Both
well, let's not
early.
forget that there's only 2 fucking fire types in Sinnoh.
Exactly, and here's the crazy thing, right? So
obviously you're gonna have an easier time when you have that coverage that just is missing from Sinnoh. But
and it's not even
also,
just as
But we also, like I said, we have to look that, you know. Like I can imagine that Incineroar would fucking flatten Sinnoh if he was brought into Sinnoh as a start instead of Infernape. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's mostly Infernape's fighting type side that's helping him in Sinnoh. Against the rock, the steel, he has 2 different types that are super effective against ice. Like the grass type
we had
fire.
such good steam, but I think the record fatigue is starting to get us here. We've been arguing about Pokemon for 2 hours. but usually we argue for way longer, so I don't know why we're like slowing
I
down
wouldn't
now.
say fatigue. It's more the lines. I'm trying to think as literal. Like if Incineroar was to be put in Sinnoh,
Also, we shouldn't even be on Incineroar right now. We should be on Rowlet.
yeah, we started backwards, but we might as well just finish up
Yeah.
with Incineroar. Looking at thinking type wise and moveset wise, I think that Infernape would still have an easier time purely because Incineroar has. If we were to put Incineroar in Sinnoh, Infernape would still have better matchups due to his fighting type than Incineroar's dark typing. If we were to put Infernape in with Incineroar's region, they both struggle. The difference is that there's some Kahunas and some Totemons that Infernape has an easier time than Incineroar does.
Hmm.
So going off of type wise and their stats, I think Infernape wins the casual playthrough.
Stats should have been the
Well, the
fucking
problem is
category.
the only thing that would change is like their stat spread is the only downside. So, I mean, going off of that alone, Infernape has more things to work for him to make his playthrough time easier
So
compared to Incineroar.
that was for casual, right?
Yep.
All
Now
right.
for competitive,
So casual playthrough in anime right now, Infernape has 3 points. The only way for Incineroar to win this is to win competitive and to win the move set.
yeah. So I will say right now, competitive, Incineroar takes this. It's not even close.
All right. So if and I have to trust you on that because I don't play competitive yet.
Mhm.
But now we have to go back to move set because you already did their stats, kind of, which is yeah. But regardless,
So,
so move sets. Which one has the better move set? Remember,
oh
this
boy.
dethrones the other one.
Okay, so here's where we gotta.
Because right now, like, unless Incineroar wins this, Infernape moves on.
The hard part here is that so where Infernape excels is he can be special
Because
attacker.
you said Incineroar has the better stat block, right?
No, Infernape technically does
Oh, I thought you said
because he can
Incineroar.
go either physical or special. Incineroar can only go really physical. Like he can still
Okay,
function.
yeah. Then I mean, Incineroar will be down a point if he doesn't get this. Then
So like here's where we need to lay out what is arguably better because Incineroar can go either pure offense wall breaking or he can be a support mon. He has more supportive move sets than Infernape does, but Infernape can also either be special or physical. So do we argue that a mon that is able to either be offensive or supportive is better than a mon that
the argument for move type or the move set is how varied and unique is the move set. You know what I mean? How many different typing moves can they learn? Like remember, Typhlosion won the move set like argument immediately because he can learn Thunder Punch.
All right, let me pull that up real quick.
What do you mean?
I'm pulling up their move sets to compare them side to side
Wow, he has to pull out a guide. You know this is serious then.
because I need to be. We're gonna. Okay, so as far as I can go with Infernape is Sun and Moon since he's not in Sword and Shield.
All
So
right,
let's look at his move.
I'm gonna fucking. I have to go do something real quick. I'll be back just 2 seconds.
No worries.
Damn it! I thought I had you plugged in.
Oh, sweet hell.
Fucking beeping at me. Shit. Oh no.
Oh, fuck this. Gunk Shot. Can Incineroar learn Gunk Shot? Can learn talk. Oh, that's a. Wait, you can learn. Oh, here we go. Here's his moves. Oh, shit. You can learn Dual Chop. When the fuck can he learn this? Okay. Now, Infernape's turn. Wait, Snore can learn close combat? What the fuck? Fuck, this is hard. Okay.
Very happy I do not have a webcam because that was fucking embarrassing.
What happened?
Nothing. I thought I had something plugged in, then I dropped the cord, and then I dropped what I was trying to plug in behind the thing I was trying to plug it into.
Mm-hmm.
So I grabbed the cord, plugged it in, got up, tried to find the thing I was going to plug in, then realized it must have dropped behind it. Then as I pulled it back up, I somehow unplugged the thing, and I had to fucking replug it all back in, and it was just very embarrassing.
Fair enough. Okay, so here's what I came to.
Oh, hang on, let me mark it. All right,
They're pretty much dead even.
another tie.
Yeah, like,
No, Infernape still has the more points, so if it's another tie, then you know what I mean.
like
I can't believe
as
the
much
anime is determining more of this versus actual gameplay.
it's purely just because Incineroar kind of gets fucked due to his typing in his region. Infernape benefits more, and then in terms of sheer move sets, they're pretty spot on.
All right, this will seem like a huge fucking cop out.
Hmm.
Okay, I never touched Rowlet, and I have literally no opinion about him. I think
Oh,
his bow tie's cute, and I like the Robin Hood aesthetic. That's literally it. I know nothing about the Rowlet line.
I got you. Okay.
I was gonna do the whole run through it, but now that Sasha's in Alola, I can't fucking do that.
And this is the grass type that I think can square up with Sceptile.
That's a bold statement.
Well,
Like let's not forget here, just because here's the thing, same as Froakie, Grovyle's a fucking hero. So despite what happens in the anime, if anything's gonna carry Rowlet here, he's gonna need to have the other categories.
and I'm pretty confident.
Let's hear it.
All right, so
So
right off the rip,
let's start with anime, as we have been. Pretty sure Grovyle still takes it, or
yeah,
does something? Is there a moment you want to bring up from the Alola anime?
I do not recall
He
any.
said with a vile smirk on his face.
Yeah, I'll be real with you, homie. I'm gonna have to give that one to Sceptile. Like he down to bloody Darkrai.
Yeah,
That's not happening. So yeah, Sceptile still owns the anime.
that's 1 point for Sceptile. Now then,
Yep,
move sets.
that goes to Dartrix or Decidueye. Sorry,
I was about to say
Dis
what?
Decidueye owns the move sets because he still has
All
a
right.
signature move.
Okay. Move set goes to him. That's another point, so that's dead even.
Yep.
Now then, stat blocks.
In this regard, I'm gonna in stat. So Sceptile is faster. However, Decidueye has more options. S- Basically, Sceptile is meant to be a special attacker. However, most of his best moves, Leaf Storm's a one-time use with the special attack. Comparing their stats and their move pools, that goes to
Hey,
Decidueye.
hey, hey, hey. We haven't finished stat blocks yet.
I know, but that plays an important part on
Also,
whether or
we've
not
already, we've
there's.
already we've already talked about move sets. You know what I mean? That point we went to Decidueye. We have to.
I know, but the problem is, what good does it have a base 100 attack if you don't know physical moves?
Fair
That's why
enough,
they
but
got.
that doesn't include which one just has the better stat block all around.
I'd personally give that to Decidueye. It gives him more options.
All right, Decidueye sitting at 2 points. Now then, for the real big ones, competitive and
hmm
casual.
So, casual, that's a tough one because,
Once
well,
again, Alola is a very easy region, so it's hard to really see to stress test these mons.
exactly. That's why I'm just gonna act like I'm dragging them from one region to another and comparing them type-wise and overall.
Which is impossible.
Well, you can theoretically come up with an idea.
You could theoretically, but it's not like you can put Rowlet in Hoenn as hard as you
Yeah,
would like to try. Which means that, like casual play is sort of a moot area. We can remove it from this like list because like honestly
I think this
like
should still play a part
it should play a
because
part, but like I said, Alola is just such an easy region. You know what I mean?
I know that's why I'm picturing what would happen if I put Sceptile in there and
Bro, Sceptile would flatten a lot of the problems that Alola has. Let's not kid ourselves.
ah
Grofile's speed stat alone, like, literally handles most of the problems.
and Decidueye, well, not as fast, can take hits much better. The
How the
difference
fuck do you
here,
build your Groviles that they're these glass cannons?
well, for starters, Sceptile only has a 65 defense and an 85 special defense and a 70 HP. He's not that tanky.
My Sceptile was.
Decidueye has a 100 special defense, 75 defense, and 78 HP. He is actually tankier.
So he does have the better stat blocks then.
Well, tankiness is, it's more along the lines of offensive threats since these two are more
We
offensive
just
mons.
replaced one category with a worse category, it seems. Because you can't even decide on this one.
Well, this is what I'm getting to. If we were to put Decidueye in Hoenn region using his type matchups,
Okay, when you say it like that.
that's literally what I said the first time, brother.
No, you said it in reverse. No, I said Sceptile in Lola. My bad.
Oh, I'm doing that as well. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do them both because that's exactly what I did with
When you say it like that, Rowlet in fucking Hoenn region, that might not be as rough. Also, can you imagine the timeline we were in if like Rowlet was in the Hoenn region, Trico was in the Alolan region?
Yeah. So just by nature
Actually,
of him,
they would still fit, I think. That probably wouldn't happen because you'd have two avian Pokemon, so that probably wouldn't actually go through properly.
well, Decidueye is Grass and Ghost.
No, Decidueye is an owl. Blaziken's a chicken. They're avian.
Oh,
You see what I mean? There's not a
yeah.
variety.
So comparing the two together, Sceptile, both Sceptile and Decidueye would be walled off by the third gym by nature of the steel typing. Fucking what is it? Magneton.
The electric, the electric gym would the electric gym is always the first hurdle you got to get past the real first hurdle when it comes to Hoenn. Like that.
Yep.
That's when it comes to the brass tacks, and you gotta juice up your Sceptile or train outwards because that's the first real hurdle after May.
Yep. They both would struggle with the fire gym. That's kind of a given.
Fire gym in Hoenn ain't that weak. Is actually fairly weak though. It's not that like intensive.
Bro.
What?
Drought Torkoal with a white herb when overheat?
I've never had a problem with that gym. I've always aced it. I've never had to switch out a Mon. I've never had a problem with the fire gym. I don't know where this comes from, where everyone's like, dude, the fire gym's impossible. I've never had a problem with it.
Impossible, definitely a high ball on that one, but like Torkoal actually hits like a truck, and giving him overheat with the drought does an insane amount of damage, and that's where the difficulty is Torkoal because he's also tankier than hell. And drought cut when the sun's out, water type attacks are cut in half, so you have to use ground or rock to deal with him. Um,
You know, now that I
but
think about it, at this point in the game, I usually have like. Actually, no, I've never had a problem with the Fire Djinn in like Hoenn ever. I've had more of a problem with Winona than anyone else. Wait, was it
that's
Winona?
actually quite. Uh, she was the flying type.
Yeah, Winona. Yeah, Winona, because that god sweeping Altaria of hers.
Yeah. Although she was actually one I didn't have too much trouble with either. It's
You probably
interesting about that.
yeah, like
Um,
everyone has trouble with the Fire Gym, but no trouble with Winona. And here I am, I fucking just trounce that shit, and then I get to Winona, and I'm like, what do I do?
it's
Kind of.
always interesting when people struggle at different points of the older
Let's
games, and
be let's
that's
be fair though. That Altaria is a fucking problem.
fun. I'm trying to think if I've ever actually had a playthrough where she gave me a hard time. I've honestly
Because
have had more.
let's face it. Any Pokemon stacking Dragon Dances is a problem. But anyways, back
Oh,
to
they
Rowlet.
so the normal gym, Rowlet would wall the fuck off of everyone due to his ghost typing. They can't use Facade.
It sounds like you're leaning more towards Rowlet here.
For the time being, at the moment, yes, because Ghost, up until this
I
point,
forgot Rowlet. Like Rowlet should take the typing then because that's Ghost
oh,
typing.
easy. Yeah, he takes the typing without even
And you
much
said he has a
effort.
signature move, so he has okay. So Rowlet has a signature move.
Hmm.
So so right now it's 1-1 because
Um,
anime goes to Grovyle, moveset goes to Rowlet.
yeah, and then let's see here.
Stat blocks. You said it was basically a tie because you couldn't decide.
What? No, I said Decidueye, brother. I said he has more options.
Oh right. Okay, now then. So casual and competitive. Let's Oh yeah, you're on casual right now. Sorry, fuck.
No, you're good. Just the nature of the ghost typing.
Usually when we're doing this, it's on a day off, and I hadn't just done a full ass day of work. So
No
maybe that's
worries.
probably what's doing it right now. Because I remember I usually am more like receptive during these talks. I'm more, you know what I mean?
Yeah, don't fret too hard about it, my guy. So, honestly, just by nature of the ghost typing, being able to wall off two fighting and normal, very common casual playthrough typings. Like, there's not that many dark types you encounter in either region, and in fact, they both have what is sometimes a wall and a normal type. And Grovul have an easier time dealing with, like, say, the Ghost Elite Four member. However, the Decidueye would have an easier time against the Dragon. He would have an easier time against the others. So going off of that,
Aren't
and
the
then if we
Elite
brought
Four
some,
members the same in every single region, like the same typings?
no, they change. It's just when there's only four, and we're now coming up to our ninth generation. There are going to be some repeats. It's just Dragon's pretty common because it's really hard to put
Yeah,
Dragon
but
as a gym leader.
how many Elite Fours has it have a fucking like ghost type?
First, third, uh, oh my God, wait a minute. First, third,
Right.
fifth, or not fifth, sorry, sixth has a wait. Hold up. Let me think about this real quick.
Let's before we get into that, which will probably be our next week's video talking about Elite Fours.
Yeah, we'll worry about that later.
Well, no, not probably not next week, but another episode of this.
Yeah, at some point. But overall, just by nature of the ghost typing, which is a fantastic playthrough typing, I would say Decidueye would have an easier time in competitive or in casual, given the fact that he can also, much like Infernape, be either physical or special.
Now
So you don't
the easy part, competitive.
Decidueye.
All right, Grovyle, it was a great run. You made it a long way. You made it through 3 generations, which is sad because you almost made it. But Decidueye is just generally a better Mon,
Yep.
objectively. You die as you lived, a fucking hero. Now go shove that Dusknoir into the portal, and we'll never see you again.
Yep.
We still love
Oh
you for
boy.
a while. Fucking amazing. But hey, Decidueye, it has to be like Okay, so
The eighth The 8th generation. This
Now
one's a
then,
toughie.
8th generation. Let's just hit it. Let's just hit it back. So we have Decidueye. We have Infernape. And we have
Greninja.
Greninja. Thank you.
I got you, man.
I was about to say Froakie, but I'm like, shit. All right. So.
Oh boy. Okay, so
All right, so anime fucking nothing for Grookey. Literally nothing for Grookey in the anime.
yeah, and I know
now we have this problem where there's nothing for either one in either anime, but the only thing is that technically Rowlet gets the point by default because Rowlet has more screen time than fucking
Rowlet kind of at least Rowlet's with the group,
Yeah.
so Rowlet takes the anime by default.
Okay, now then. Moveset.
Moveset that will go to Rillaboom because while it's not necessarily a signature move,
He can
Decidueye does not have access.
he can learn Darkest Lariat, which is a big benefit.
Oh, the biggest one is Grassy Glide.
Oh yeah,
That
that's
one's
him too.
huge.
Yeah. All right, typing as well.
That would go to Decidueye.
Yeah. I keep hearing that they're trying to add sound type into the game. I'm like, you fucking idiot. They're not gonna add another type.
Yeah, there's no typing that really, outside of Fairy, no other type really sticks out as inherently overpowered right now.
Yeah. But that's like the one I see most in like sound type in like fan games. They always add the sound type.
Yeah, which I mean to be fair, there are like
All right,
sound
stat
based
blocks.
moves. Okay. Let me pull up Rillaboom's stats real quick because I know it's going to be based upon how
Why did I
high.
hire you if you don't know the stat block of a Rillaboom off the top of your head?
All right, so looking at this, I'm gonna have to give it to Rillaboom because he has higher attack, higher HP. His speed's actually better, and he has better defense. Where he lacks is the special attack ranges, but he does not care about special attack. So that'd go to Rillaboom.
Rillaboom has like 2 points.
Oh yeah,
Actually, wait, hang on. Oh, we're just on movesets right now. Or no, moveset and stat box. That's right.
yep.
Hang on,
So-
I have to remove looks off the paper.
No, you're good, dude.
All right. So, all right, Rillaboom has 2 points. Now then, for the real points, because all those are just 1. These next 2 are 2 each. Casual and competitive.
So
You
again,
didn't take Rillaboom, I think.
by nature being part ghost, casual, it's gonna be a bit easier for Decidueye.
Exactly. But
However,
I will say, I took Rillaboom my first time around in Sword.
Oh yeah, and
I will say, Donkey Kong Monkey. It feels good to return to Monkey and bang log with stick. I will say that I had much fun with him. When I eventually get around to my second playthrough of Lola, when it's safe to fucking purge that file because all my shinies will be ripped out of that game. I will be happy to try out like Decidueye, but I can't.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to. You've obviously had a Decidueye run. You have to have.
oh yeah,
So you're gonna have to take this from here, then I guess.
yeah. It's just comparing the two together and pitting them against each other's regions. Decidueye is gonna win the casual just by nature of his typing.
It's a good thing that we're not doing looks because Sobble would lose by default because of his fucking second form.
Second and third, I don't know very many people that actually like Inteleon. Like he's grown on people, but that's basically it.
People like Inteleon because of Gex. That's literally the only reason.
In terms of competitiveness, Rillaboom, not even a competition. Like it's so funny how Rillaboom getting Grassy
Is
Surge.
Rillaboom about to fucking dethrone Decidueye?
I think so because like understand like Rillaboom at first was not a good mon. He was not good, and then they gave him Grassy Surge, and then made it so Grassy Glide exists. And Rillaboom being able to set that up and use it right off the rip, immediately jump to
Because
OU.
I want you to understand that it's impossible for Decidueye to win now, since he has competitive. Like, that's nuts that Decidueye was just dethroned.
Yeah, like when you look at like arguably the stat blocks and
And we were fucking shitting all over the fucking Sword and Shield starters earlier.
well, I'm only shitting on Inteleon, really.
No, I'm saying before we started recording, remember?
I did say that there was a few potential ones, but
Yeah.
don't get me wrong, and
You said all of the Sword and Shield starters were reviled, which I didn't fight you on that, but I kind of thought it was a weird thing to say.
yeah, don't get me wrong, a lot of they kind of had the Gen 5 treatment where the starters weren't very well beloved for quite some time.
I still say that people love them. I see enough like
It's mostly their first evolutions. Their final ones, it's kind of a mixed bag.
I still say Rillaboom is great. He's a great design. Regardless, moving on. So,
Yeah,
like Decidueye's dethroned immediately.
yeah, like when you compare the two in the other categories, like Rillaboom wins it.
Damn.
Honestly, competitive was a one-sided ass whooping.
Yeah, it is.
The Decidueye is an NU, Rillaboom's OU.
All
You
right.
can't really compare those two.
Now then, Infernape versus
Oh
Scorbunny.
boy. It's,
So I think we have the same problem here as we had with Hero versus Comic Relief.
like the problem here is that you're right, it's two different takes, but the other issue is it's the reverse of what we just went through. Because the last two had almost nothing to go off of each other. These two have a lot to go off each other.
What do you mean by that?
So, Rillaboom and Decidueye really didn't have any like
No,
notable anime
I'm
moments.
talking about fucking Scorbunny, my guy.
I know. I'm just saying. I found it funny that we went from the two competitors not really having anything to now two competitors that have a lot. Um,
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying now. Like we have a lot more to go off of with Scorbunny versus Infernape.
like
Yeah, I get it.
honestly, I think I because you understand that in the anime, Infernape also showed off his ability, something we don't ever really get to see.
You've been pushing that all
And
night, but at the same time, you
it,
know,
it's I'd argue it's quite valid because we don't get to see that shit too often. So it's pretty cool when we actually get to see their
I remember
abilities
that it was a
actually come into
big
effect.
deal. I think it was like in the 5th generation that they finally showed a stat boosting move.
I know, like we get to see every once in a while.
I think Gardevoir used Calm Mind, and that was like a big deal. It was
Oh,
either some mod used either Calm Mind or Swords Dance. I don't remember.
yeah.
Regardless, so the anime. Once again, we have Hero versus Charisma.
I would still argue Infernape purely because he had a whole ass arc. Like his arc was the whole damn anime
That's the
season.
problem. That's the problem with Infernape. He's really hard to beat when it comes to anime because he's like one of the few like mons I ever got like an actual character arc that meant
Yeah, because
something, not just Chikorita. Remember earlier? It feels like so long ago we were shitting on Chikorita.
yeah, like honestly, it's
But
just
yeah, like okay,
I'll have to give it to Infernape.
like Scorbunny's interactions with Lucario are cute. They're cute.
Yeah, they're fun to watch.
They're very fun to watch. And I like how everyone was massively trolled when they realized that oh god, what's his name? Ash's buddy.
Oh, Hop.
No, the other one.
I don't fucking know.
The kid he's hanging out with.
Oh, shit. I
Right?
don't know his name. That like he's the opposite of Ash in the fact that he catches everything that breathes. Like I swear to God, Ash is allergic to throwing Pokeballs. Meanwhile, this kid's throwing them out like Oprah fucking Winfrey.
Doesn't he accidentally catch a pincer?
I think so.
Yeah. Which is pretty sick, by the way. Like to accidentally catch a pincer. Where literally in all other media, pincers are absolute bastards to catch because they just catch the Pokeball with between their mandibles.
Yeah. Like,
Regardless, moving on.
yeah, the
As I
Infinite
was
wins the
saying,
anime
I
one.
found it super fucking funny when the people who made the anime trolled everyone by making everyone think that the dude Score Bunny was a girl when in actuality he was not.
Yeah,
They
they're
love doing that in anime for some fucking reason. I don't know why.
yeah. Although they do be homies, and I
I
like that.
see you over there, ReZero. You can't fucking hide. Fucking freaks.
Oh, all right. So, what would you say? I personally say the anime goes to Infernape.
That's the problem. Like arc versus comic relief. Like yeah, it's just better. You know what I mean?
It really is. Like, it's great to have comic
Like
relief, but
when you have fucking Paul as your final boss, like that's hard to beat.
exactly. Like he showed his ass up. You can't beat that.
Yep. Okay. Anime goes to Infernape. Now then, move set.
Okay, so Cinderace has a signature move, and it is the single best
I
physical
just
move in
want
the
to
entire
say,
game.
like, I don't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm not
No,
trying
you're
to
good,
interrupt
dude.
here, but I find it hilarious that I had conceded the idea that Rillaboom was probably going to get like forced aside, and I was so pleasantly hyped and surprised that Rillaboom has now made it at the end. Like you have no idea how happy I was when you said like when I saw Rillaboom had 4 categories. I'm like, oh my god, is he gonna make it? I was beyond happy. I was like, okay, I can't wait to, because like there's nothing in the anime, and I'm like, I don't know exactly what stat blocks are, and then you list all the shit off. I'm like, oh my god, he's gonna make it.
Yeah, it's but comparing the Cinderace to Infernape, like it's tough because Infernape has a better fighting type move than Cinderace. Cinderace has a better priority move than Infernape. He also has a
Pokemon
better
Showdown.
uh, we're gonna have to include
You get one.
if I were to pick between them, and that'd be more of a competitive sense, that would go to Cinderace.
Okay, we have our answer. Moveset goes to Cinderace.
Well, that's
You
more of the
can't
competitive
you
sense.
can't go backsies on it.
The problem is that they're dead even on terms of movesets because they both do different things.
Well,
And the pro
you can't do the comparison thing, which is the tiebreaker for this, and say, but no, though. Like you have to say one and mean it, unless it's an actual true tie, in which case just say it's a tie.
it'd be a tie, but
Okay then.
when you ask me for Smogon, I'm that's more or less the competitive side of things, but
Smogon?
or Showdown. Smogon and Showdown are
Oh,
one and the same.
sorry.
No, you're good, dude.
I forgot that's how people abbreviate it.
Well, that's what it's called, is Smogon.
I've always known it as Showdown.
It's both.
That's what we called it in high school, anyways.
Yeah, they're both connected together.
Anyways, so it's a tie then.
In terms of movesets, I would say it's a tie.
Okay, please lead with that from now on, instead of just saying like going back and forth.
Yeah.
Like when I said Showdown, you should like it should have been. That's not that simple. You have to, you know what I mean. It's more of a tie.
Yeah, it's
Okay, moving on. So 1 point to Infernape, tie, stat blocks.
oh boy. Here's what we're facing. Infernape has a okay. Cinderace can really only go physical attack, but he is also faster. Infernape. Let me drag this over here so I can just pull them up side to side. Infernape, however, has a more balanced spread, giving you an option to go special or physical. However, he is
Which
slower.
means
Let's see.
so if there's one. How are we gonna do stat blocks from now on when we do these types of videos? Because we're gonna do this for every typing at this point. Because we have too much going here. But regardless, we're gonna
In
have
a
which stat blocks has more positives.
Yeah, because like Cinderace, the thing here is that Cinderace is only going to go physical. There's no really special movesets for him because his special's only 65. His
So
physical
that
attack, however,
so
is
then
cracked through the roof.
more options are to Infernape, so therefore better stat blocks, right?
Honestly, I'm gonna give this to Cinderace just because he's that good in what he does with his stats.
All right, dead even tied now. One to the anime, one to stat blocks. Tie on movesets. It's down to
Yep.
casual and competitive.
All right. So I used Cinderace on my first playthrough.
Actually, let me. I didn't use Cinderace on my first playthrough, and I haven't actually gotten around to, moving my Pokemon around so I can do my second playthrough. Oh, let me go. Let me go. Fucking call my sister. She played Sword with Cinderace.
So did I. That was literally my go-to.
Hang on. Let me ring her up.
Homie, I literally said,
It's ringing. Ah, damn it. Oh, I know. Okay.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. Here we go. Come on. Pick up. 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 You
Homie.
shit. I know you're awake. Ah. Hey. What's up? Oh. No. It's fine. Okay. Yeah. Look, I'm doing a dumb Pokemon video right now. I need your opinion on Cinderace. Yes, I'm serious. No, why do I talk to you? You're fucking lucky we're related. All right, no, seriously. Yeah, Cinderace. Well, what's your opinion of it? I didn't. Okay. Okay. I think so. Oh. Oh yeah. No, it's just a dumb YouTube video. Well, okay, you're right. It's not dumb. I'm putting work into it, but okay, I don't know about that. Look, have your mom call my mom. We'll talk about that later. Okay, catch you later, man. Thanks. My sister didn't pick up, so I called my cousin.
Okay. Um, I was literally saying that I used Cinderace in my first playthrough.
Oh. I took my
I was trying.
I had taken my headphones off by that point, Red.
Yeah, I was like, homie, I used him.
I can just imagine you shouting, "Shut, dude!"
I was. That's the worst part.
I'm sorry, man. That's good content, though.
Oh my god. All right.
Literally, my cousin said when I asked him, "What's your opinion on Cinderace?" and he fucking said, "Well, I think the hang on a second. Where's my pencil?" He said, "Oh, the mon or the porn," and I'm like, "God, fucking no."
Jesus.
and I was just like, "Come on, man."
All right.
Anyways, I'm pretty sure you heard my reaction to that.
Yeah, I did. Oh boy. But in terms of like casual playthrough, it's really tough. But
Oh yeah, shit. I was supposed to ask him about like a casual playthrough of it.
oh, no worries. Honestly,
I mean,
just because
I asked his opinion of it, and he said, Cinderace is good. It's better than having a weird fucking rat lizard on your team," which is what I think he was talking about Inteleon there.
I'm thinking so. If I'm gonna be completely honest with you, dude, I think Cinderace just by nature of how he has the single best fire type physical attack move while being fast, and his attack is cracked up. And he's faster, so he'll outspeed almost anything you encounter in the game. The only reason I could see giving it to Infernape is
So
purely based on his typing.
now we're in danger because if Infernape doesn't win competitive,
He's not going to.
wow.
It's not even close.
Wow.
To give you an idea,
I can't believe Infernape has gone this far just to lose to Cinderace.
Cinderace is currently in the Ubers tier with the legendaries. Infernape has never achieved that. And in fact, there's even an anything goes tier for Cinderace. And that is purely due to his ability Libero, which is part of the reason why Greninja is so good, is because it's the same thing as Protean. He changes his typing based on the move he uses.
Bruh, that's beyond nuts that Infernape made it as far as it did.
Yeah, like, don't get me wrong.
That kind of sucks, though. I kind of thought Infernape would make it.
I'll be real with you, homie.
All right,
honestly,
now then, for the real thing. All right, I'll just let you go. You know the categories at this point.
Yeah, you're about to see a one-sided ass whooping.
All right, so anime obviously goes to fucking
Greninja,
like
not even close.
That's fucking easy. Movesets.
Anime movesets. Yeah, that goes to Greninja as well. He has more moveset options.
Stat blocks.
Let me pull up Inteleon's stats real quick, because he might be able to pull an edge out on this one.
He might leave with a point.
Yeah, he might not be embarrassed. Damn! Okay, motherfucker hits hard, actually. One moment.
Really?
120 speed, 125 special attack. That is nothing to scoff at. Oh my god. Hang on, he might actually beat Greninja in this tier.
Red.
What?
I don't know how I'm gonna sleep tonight, knowing that the Sword and Shield starters are literally the best starters in the entire series.
Alright, so
I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fucking sleep tonight.
alright, so not including Ash Greninja. We're not gonna include that because otherwise he hard wins stat. Oh my god, that's
because
correct.
that's what the anime tier is for. Or the anime category.
Oh, he's also in game. You can get Ash Greninja in game. I used him in competitive.
Isn't he an event mon?
No, actually, you can get him still right now if you play the demo of
Really?
Sun and Moon. Deadass, that's how you get him.
Huh. I still say that that's not in base game, so we don't count it.
Well, if you're doing competitive, that's kind of out of base or stat blocks. Like I said, I'm not gonna count it just because this is mega Pokemon this is mega evolution.
If the world ends and there's no internet left and there's just a copy of Sun and Moon out there without the Ash Greninja, you're gonna find normal Greninjas. Or not Sun and Moon, you know what I mean.
If there was no internet, you still could.
How? How would you play the demo?
Well,
we're getting into dumb territory. Let's just
we're getting this.
Everyone's waiting to see if
So
if Greninja takes it, or
like this would be essentially the only category that Inteleon could win in is the stat blocks. However, Greninja has more options yet again. However, just because of how
we've been talking about this for 3 hours.
Yeah, I kind of figured so. Just by nature of how cracked out his two offensive stats are, being speed and special attack, I'm going to give this one to Inteleon.
All right, Inteleon has a point.
Yep. And that's basically where it stops.
For the two crucials. Competitive and casual.
Competitive, not even close. That goes to Greninja.
Casual.
As for casual, that I would argue goes to Greninja as well. Just because, again, he has more options. And
actually, Inteleon has a Gigantamax form.
That only changes his water type moves.
No, but we have to take into account that, therefore. Like, remember when we took in Mega Evolutions?
Then in that case...
Then again, I mean, we took into account Mega Evolutions. We still kicked Charizard to the fucking curb, so, you know what I mean? Fair enough.
Yeah, and if you want to pull that, then we do have to include Battle Bond Greninja, which is Ash Greninja. And at that point,
I still say it's not part of base game. You have to introduce to something that isn't part of the base game. Therefore, you know what I mean? Gigantamaxing is part of the base game.
fair enough. However, I will say Dynamax Greninja would have more advantages than a Gigantamax Centellion.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, like
All right.
casual wise, I give
So,
that to Greninja.
Greninja takes the throne and keeps it. God dang. So, this is your final loadout. These are objectively the best starters for playing. These are the Swiss Army knife Pokemon when it comes to starters. Objectively the best. And I can't believe it's Rillaboom, Cinderace, Greninja. That's nuts.
I find it funny that two of them effectively have the same ability, and it's part of the reason why they're so fucking good.
Yeah.
Or it's the main reason why they're so damn good.
Well then, that was a fucking list and an argument and a half. Alright, join us next week for what is the next talk, Red?
Let's hear it. We went over starters. We could go over. Oh boy. That's a bit of a tough one. Honestly, I'm not against doing the Elite Four.
Talking about Elite Four members?
Yeah, I think
Well,
it'd be
you
interesting.
heard the man. We're talking about Elite Four members.
And
We're not doing this next week. We're just shooting the shit. We are just talking aimlessly because this is gonna be fun to edit.
Oh yeah, although I will be slandering the shit out of one of the Elite Four members, and it's me. Awesome.
Trust me, I got a few motherfuckers on my radar. All right, good night, everyone.
Good night.
Fuck, and the record.